Alright. Complete the investigation mission.
I'm glad to see that you've put so much
I'll
effort
do that
into this week's
now.
show that you've just started doing
No.
the campaign
Yeah.
as we started doing the
Do
show.
Witch Queen.
Have you been busy?
Which queen is this it? Yeah.
I guess I'm muted. Or you're just ignoring me.
Got them big ass wings? Think you're gonna fly away?
Are you
I think this is gonna be
ignoring
my
me?
new PvP shotgun right here. Look at this
He's
monster.
ignoring me, isn't he?
Look at this monster.
Maybe I'm muted in everything. So welcome to the show. I am your British host, Nitedemon. Mumbling in the background is
we'll leave it
Respawn,
there for
and
now.
joining us soon
Yeah.
will be Peroty.
See, look. Chaperone got nerfed this season. I haven't seen the nerfs yet because I haven't watched the video. I'm sure Nitedemon will tell us today. But Chaperone has been.
Chaperone still
Why am I
kills.
here?
Chaperone still kills in Crucible.
Do I have to like?
Because I have done all the testing. I've been everywhere, done everything, seen everything.
Okay, so this is Sabbath, the Witch Queen.
Can anybody in his
Witch
chat
Queen
hear
Oh
me?
no, that's the
'Cause
invest-
I am just talking to myself here because he's muted me, but I've no idea if he's muted
When
me
did you
in his head.
investigation? What's the new Titan helmet do? The
It
fire one?
installs fear
You make sunspots?
in hunters. It installs fear in hunters. That's
No,
what that.
I don't know.
that
What's
does.
what new Titan exotic are you talking about, dude? What helmet?
The flaming helmet.
Ooh.
Hello.
Oops. Oh my god. Has Demon been talking to me? Oh god, Demon is talking to me. Ah! I'm mute the whole time.
It's all right. I've finished the show while you've been mumbling away in the background.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
What up, Peroty?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Have you seen the? Yeah, I know you.
Respawn's put so much effort into this week's show. He's doing his research right now, live as we speak.
Oh, it's amazing.
Where am I supposed to go?
Welcome to a new season. Here's 6 quest lines. Figure it out, old man.
No. It brought me to a room. It
That's
looks
how
like
I
it's
feel
got
anyway.
a platforming puzzle.
Mm-hmm. You're
This
supposed to
isn't-
reveal the platforms.
Yeah, this isn't the show that helps Respawn get through the campaign today. This isn't that show.
No, it's not.
That's Ibantis.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
Anyway.
I
So
really don't know what I'm
you,
doing.
you can tell us all about the game this week since you've played some of it.
Well, yeah, I can try and tell you about the game.
Yeah, bro. Okay. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
Are you? So
Yeah.
welcome to the show, everybody. Everybody in Respawn's live.
Hi. Hi,
Chat.
everybody. Hi, Mr.
Hi.
Nitedemon.
Are you going to continue to do that voice throughout when I talk to your chat?
I mean, I don't know. Is it amusing?
No.
Then yes.
Fair enough.
Okay,
So I'm going to say at the opening of the show, thank you very much to our Guardian Down and Guardian Hub companions.
compatriots,
Compatriots, that's it, yeah. Whatever the word is. Our brothers in arms for
our friends.
last week's show. Yeah, it was a very enjoyable show, and I had to do very minimal of editing, which was quite nice. Just all the dolphins and the ducks that came in to bleep out some of the explicit language that some people just can't hold back. They can't speak normally.
Where was that?
Plus, this week, no spoilers. We're not going to discuss any spoilers. So this is the spoiler-free show. We are going to skirt around issues. We are going to dodge story beats, but we are going to discuss some things. Hopefully, some of us have played some of the game
I have.
this week, which is good that we can actually discuss some of the things. But like always, we start off the show with what's happening next week in Destiny. So Perry, could you tell us what is happening next week in Destiny and the Crucible modes that we need to pay attention to, and what do we need to do in them if we are new to the game?
Well, next week in Destiny, the world's first raid race, Vow of the Disciple, begins March 5th. So read the 12 on March 3rd for more info on the contest mode. So they've told you the raid is on March 5th, so book your days off if that's what you're doing. Mayhem is going to return to the Crucible. That's where you have all the supers all of the time. So if you're a new light player, or if you've been given the, hey, go get kills with your solar and or arc subclasses as part of that bug, Mayhem's a great place to do that. It'll just give you tons of supers and you can use them and get all sorts of kills. Your Nightfall is going to be the arms dealer strike. So if you need to go deal some arms, go do that. And bonus Vanguard rakes will be active in strikes. I don't know if they're active in any other things in the strike playlist, but they're active in strikes at least. So get some Vanguard rings and then you can make Zavala happy. And if he's happy, you're happy.
Very nice.
Do we know if we get more Vanguard rank in the various things that fall under the strike playlist, or is it just the vanilla strikes?
No, there are.
I guess we'll find out.
Battlegrounds in there.
Probably Nightfalls.
There are strikes and battlegrounds in there now, so it's a mixture of both. And like the champions, the barrier champions and the overload champions have now just been swapped out for yellow bars, so it goes a lot smoother than it did previous.
Can you repeat that? I blanked out for a second. I'm sorry. Not on purpose. I didn't mean to do it. But what's got yellow bars now?
So the battlegrounds, where they used to have barrier champions, as you progress through the levels, they are now changed to just yellow bars.
Oh. Okay.
And so we think everything under that playlist, since it's all under the Vanguard banner, is going to give us extra Vanguard
ops now. Yeah.
It's going to give us extra Vanguard rank.
Yes.
Just like the regular strikes.
It does, yeah, because it's all in that.
Because nobody wants to run strikes, Bungie. No one wants to do this. No.
Well, some of us have had to do it this week.
Well, you had to, yes, but nobody wants to. Nobody wakes up in the morning excited about strikes.
Why did you have to?
Well, you see, I completely forgot, and I didn't realize until I was actually there with the Witch Queen in front of me that Bungie had changed some of the ways that they did with bounties a couple of releases back. So what they said was, if you'd have been hoarding up your bounties and you turn in bounties for Crucible, Strikes, Gambit, those will contribute towards your powerful rewards, because you have to turn in 8 of your bounties to get a powerful reward. But what they did say, again, a couple of releases back, was if you turned in bounties you'd hoarded, when you come to turn those in, you won't get a powerful reward for hoarding up the bounties. So I had to go in and play on the playlist Strikes, Gambit, Crucible, and do actual bounties. So I did the repeatable one. So I knew that I was only just turning in the repeatable one. So I did 8 in each one, turn those in so that I could get the powerful reward and left it at the vendors before I then turned in my mountain of bounties that I'd hoarded up. So yes, that was enjoyable to some extent. So in between playing the campaign and turning in bounties, because I had to go and play in the playlist, I got a wide variety of experiences in all the different things that we can discuss.
I gotta be real with you. Everything that you just mentioned, none of that sounds entertaining.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Did you?
I did. Because it, like I said to Peroty, it gave me a kind of brief overview of what's happening in the game, because some people just want to go and play Strikes, some people just want to go and play Gambit, some people just want to go.
Nobody wants to just go play Strikes. If you're anybody who wants to go play Strikes,
there were people farming Strikes.
That's not a thing.
Honestly.
Why would that be a thing?
Look, I don't know the rhymes and reasons of these people. If they want to go and do these things, they go and do these things.
So you could use I look up every video known to man would have had an answer better than that.
Yes, but not everybody posts a video of their rhymes and reasons of why they want to go and play Strikes over and over again.
So it's not like an AFK farming method that's back or anything?
No. Okay. There are other farming methods that are back, but we won't be discussing those.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be fair, you can just go turn your brain off and go play Strikes, because at what point are Strikes challenging or interesting to anyone? Right. If you're just trying to grind through and get drops like you are at the beginning of the season, go for it. Play your Strikes, especially if you're just hanging out with friends.
You know what is back this season, Respawn?
Mayhem.
That you really enjoy. Me giving you a full list of week by week seasonal challenges.
I had missed those. I was really thinking, what seasonal challenges should I be working on? And 19, what seasonal challenges should I be working on? Should I have
Damn
looked
it.
at to see what they were at this point?
Well,
Oh,
we
no.
have, I think it's about 10 weeks worth of seasonal challenges. And I
Oh,
will go through
no.
next week's challenges. So we are in week 2. So you can still continue to do week 1s, which should hopefully be in your quest log, first page. But next week we can have Operation Elbrus, week 2, which is complete week 2 of the Operation Elbrus. Also defeat combatants in the PsyOps battlegrounds. Defeat champions grants bonus progress. So you have to do that and 100 combatants, and that will give you challenge XP plus insight. Ooh, there's insight into things.
What is insight? Like just general knowledge, or is insight a currency in the game?
It is indeed both. It is insight into what to play. Tug of War. We can defeat Hive Wardens of the Spring and Scorn of the Light Flare in the Wellspring. So you have to defeat Warden of the Spring and the Light Flare. So I'm guessing that's 2 bosses that we have to kill in the Wellspring activity, and that will give you challenge XP plus. So lots of pluses that we like. Weapon shape 1. Craft a weapon using the weapon crafting system. Just 1 weapon, that'll do. Challenge XP for that. Run the Worm. Complete the exotic quest Queen of the Worms to obtain that new exotic weapon. So I'm guessing if you've already run that this week, then if is that part of the quest? I can't remember if that was one of the names of it. No? Do you guys know?
No idea.
So yeah, complete the exotic quest of Queens and Worms to obtain a new exotic weapon. Could be the one that's already out, or it could be a new one that's coming next week, and that will give you challenge XP plus.
Well, there is an exotic quest that's out already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know the name of it. I don't know if that's the actual name of it. That's what I'm saying. Is if
Oh,
some of
I
these
see.
challenges, if you've already done them in previous weeks leading up to it, they auto-complete. So if you've already done it, then you're good. You've done it. Back home again in the Cosmodrome, earn progress by completing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors. And it's 18 of those to do, and that's challenge XP plus, and that gives you some bright dust as well. So some good stuff to spend at the Eververse store. Lost in Legend, complete a lost sector on Legend or higher. Ooh. Challenge XP plus and some bright dust. Close range calibration, calibrate close range weapons, sidearms, submachine guns, shotguns, glaives, and swords in the Cosmodrome. Bonus progress for rapidly defeating combatants, and 200 of those. Then that'd be challenge XP plus with some bright dust. Bank, kill, repeat. Now I'm going to say this like I do every season. Don't worry about playing Gambit. Just save all these ones up, because there's normally about 6 weeks worth of go and play some Gambit. And if you do it each week, you'll want to kill yourself by the end of it. People, you just, unless you're a Gambiteer, Peroty, I don't know. Do you enjoy doing these every week? Do you save them up?
I mean, Gambit is a horde mode. So the one thing I will say is as you're getting close to resetting your rank, maybe wait on that. So you're not doing that a second time in a season, unless you're really, again, going to do your dredging title again.
I think they changed that the last couple of seasons. It's now just obtain the seasonal weapon or the ornament. So you do have to, it won't matter if you've actually reset your Gambit rank, as long as you've attained that weapon or the ornament that goes with it for Gambit. It auto completes if you've already done it. So don't worry about that now.
Yeah, I hadn't kept track if you need to reset it and then reset it again to do the ornament thing, because I feel like last season I had to do the reset twice, once for the weapon, once for the ornament, or at least or basically, if not reset it, get it back to level 16 or 12 or whatever, basically doing 80%, 90% of the reset. So yeah, if you're trying to manage your play time, maybe just as you get close to that reset, don't until the thing drops, until Nitedemon tells you to.
Normally what I do is, because I don't kind of step foot into Gambit until I've got about 6 weeks worth of these challenges all lined up, and then I do them all in the same week, especially when it's like a Gambit week, like extra valor or whatever it's called. Yes,
extra infamy.
Have you played the new Gambit? Because everybody in the chat is hating on it. Is it that bad?
We'll discuss it later.
How is that different from every single Gambit that has ever come out? Of course, people are hating on it.
Well, they're saying it sucks more. Like something about shield
Is
phases?
it because no one read the TWAB last week to understand that Gambit changes? I bet that's 90% of the problem. Everyone's trying to play Gambit like a Gambit used to be, and it changed drastically on them, and they go, I don't know how to do this anymore. This sucks, guys. And also, everybody has always hated Gambit, so people hating on Gambit is nothing new.
No.
I don't even know why. It's not even
So,
a bad game mode.
If you
Crucible
want
is
to,
terrible.
next week you can earn points by banking moats, defeating blockers, and defeating guardians in Gambit, and 250 points to do that. That's Challenge XP Plus and some Bright Dust. Flourish of Power, defeat guardians in Mayhem playlist with super abilities, and 50 of those, Challenge XP Plus with some Bright Dust. Scorn Pest Control, defeat Scorn combatants in Vanguard playlists or strikes, and bonus progress for defeating tougher combatants, and 200 of those, and that would be Challenge XP Plus and some Bright Dust. So come back next week for week 3s.
Dun, 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 dun.
And you know what you can do with all that Bright Dust? You can store it all up, hoard it like I do, and
No,
then
don't
when
do
you see
that.
something nice and sweet in the Eververse store, you can either purchase it or still hang on to it until it drops from the Eververse engrams that it randomly gives you like 6 months later, and you go, oh, I like that. I wanted that 6 months ago. I will put that in my collections now. But if you do want to spend some of your Bright Dust or silver, that real world money that converts into Destiny money, go to the Eververse store. And next week, you can have the Wiggleworm exotic emote for 1,000 silver. You can have the Metropolis Flyer, which is your exotic sparrow. That would be 800 silver. The Off-Road Ghost Shell, that's your exotic ghost shell for 800 silver. Or Hold That Post, which is your legendary emote for 500 silver. And as I tell everyone each week, even if you're new to the show, I'm going to tell you again, do not buy Concentrated Matter Gem, Glimmer Shards, Scavenger's Boons. You do not need them. You will get this stuff rained upon you by just equipping the right mod on your ghost.
Rain down upon you with hate and
You
discontent.
don't need to spend your Bright Dust on these. But what you could spend your Bright Dust on is the big red button legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust. Leith Mercenary, which is your exotic ornament for the Lament sword, and that'd be 1,250 Bright Dust. Box of Tricks, which is your legendary transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust. Royal Treatment, which is a legendary shader for 300 Bright Dust. The exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust. August Shell, which is 2,850 Bright Dust. Last City Silverbird, which is your exotic sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust. Dual Engine Retrick Capsule for 2,000 Bright Dust, and that's your exotic ship. And then we have some exotic ornaments for the Shinobu's Vows for the Hunters, which is the Mantle of Remembrance. That would be 1,500 Bright Dust. The Embodiment of the War Beast, which is your Titan ornaments for the Doomfang Pauldrons. Again, 1,500 Bright Dust. And for the Warlocks, we have the Flight of the Interceptor for the Getaway Artists for 1,500 Bright Dust. And an ornament Monarch, which will be 1,250 Bright Dust, called Poison Wings Spreads.
I didn't even see that in the store. Is it not in the store yet?
Next week.
Next
This
week
is
it
all
will
next week. And then finally, your legendary Ghost Projection cover of the Exile Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. So that's what you've got to look forward to for next week.
Hello!
So I haven't got a full list of lost sectors because they are still in flux at the moment, because with every new season, we have a change up with what lost sectors are actually in the rotation. And we've got the Cosmodrome returned, and the Dreaming City is still in with the rotation, which is quite nice to see. So if you missed out on doing some of those last season to get your Master and your Legend Triumphs, you got that you can get on with. So at the moment, we've had Vel's Labyrinth and the Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome for Tuesday and Wednesday. We had the Aphelios Rest and the Bay of Drowning Wishes on Thursday and Friday. So I'm betting today's is going to be another Dreaming City one. The list of what's going to come, but I've no idea where they're going to be. So you're going to have to keep your ears to the ground and have a look on the different locations to see if these pop up for the Lost Sector. And don't forget, it's now a legendary and a master that is selectable when you go to the location on the flag. Legends give you a chance to get the exotic, and especially if it's a new exotic, it'll give you a chance to get that. If it's master, it gives you a significant chance to get that. But I believe the master is something like 1580, and only crazy fools like Esoteric will be doing things like that this week anyway. Oh, and I can confirm that if you have held onto exotics in your postmaster and you pop those open, even if they say that they're 1330, I think they were at the time that I hoarded them. If you pop those on the day that you're looking for a specific exotic, say like Wednesday, I was looking for the new helmet for my Titan. Pop that bad boy open, and it gave me the new exotic helmet for my Titan with the flaming head. Really excited. Didn't have to do a lost sector. Held on to those engrams. Paid off. So I was really happy with that. Yeah. So if you're looking for one of the new exotics for your class, just pay attention to whichever day it is. Hopefully, if you pop it out of your postmaster, has to go to the postmaster for it to actually work, because it thinks that you've got it in the lost sector. It should hopefully drop you the new exotic for that day. Done that. Flying through the information today, guys.
We're only on next week at Bungie. We haven't really started any actual information yet.
Well, I have lots of information for people.
Okay. Give it up, Chief.
I will.
Give it up.
We had an update to the game on the Tuesday, which was Destiny 2 update 4.001. And I promised Peroty that I would not read all the patch notes, because we have covered like 95% of the patch notes going into the Witch Queen. But there were a few things that they did change, like strikes. They fixed a rare issue preventing some players from launching the strike directly from the Europa map, which was the Glassway. The Disgraced fixed an issue where some players would be stuck behind a gate after they joined an in-progress of the strike. The Scarlet Keep fixed an issue where the dialogue at the end of the campaign version of the Scarlet Keep could be cutting off by the end of activity timer. Fixed an issue where players could sometimes be teleported to higher floor on the tower before the elevator reached them. And I can confirm that you cannot jump off of the elevator in the Scarlet Keep to drop down to get that bit where it says joining allies to then get to the next floor before everybody else. Does not work anymore.
Do you just die, or you stuck at the bottom?
Really annoying. No, it just spawns you on either the floor below where all the shriekers are still trying to kill you, or it spawns you back where if the elevator is hit near enough the next level, it will spawn you then. But it's literally like millimeters, and then it will spawn you up there. So yeah, that was a good fun to test out. See, another reason why I played the strikes this week, to verify these things, so that when you come to do nightfalls and things, and you go back to your trusted and tried way of doing things, and it doesn't work, and you haven't read the patch notes, and you don't know about these things. See, there you go. I've told you. You should know about these things now.
Yeah.
Don't jump off the elevator. Just ride the elevator to the top. Take the slow road. Unfortunately, that's the way we're going to have to go now, until somebody like Cheese or Froggy find an out of bounds map glitch that you can jump up the outside of the tower and kill the boss before the end. Hopefully that's a thing. Or I've just
I love how you qualified that with when and not if.
It's a win.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that's just what we all decided. That's when you stop and you take a drink of your delicious beverage as you're waiting for that elevator to go up. I figured that's what it was there for.
And if you were worried about where the Warden of Nothing strike has gone,
totally worried about it.
On the Dreaming City map on the Director, because that has been removed from Tangle Shell because it's not there anymore, but you can still do that strike because it's in the rotation. There are new copies of the Warden of Nothing Triumph in the Legends Triumph category, and players who previously earned these triumphs will have that reflected in their legendary triumphs and triumph score, but they may be earned again in this new spot for additional triumph points. So if you're a triumph hunter like me, you've got to redo it. So there you go. The Fallen Saber Strike, they fixed a spot where players could hide from danger. Not very nice, Bungie. Taking the fun out of the game.
Which one? Warden of Nothing?
Fallen Saber.
Fallen Saber.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Wanted enemies will no longer spawn in Vanguard playlists or direct launch strikes. Season of the Lost seasonal modifiers have been removed from the Vanguard playlist. And yeah.
But importantly, have they completely broken colorblind settings in a new and exciting way respawn? Or do they keep them in the same broken way that they were before?
Red is red, pink is pink, and I have no yellow. That's the way I want it. That's the way, I like it.
Something they did note in the patch notes was they fixed an issue where the Shadow Thrall in the Shattered Throne were unintentionally granting investment rewards. I thought we'd cover that again, just in case people missed it last week. You cannot go and farm in the Thrall way anymore. You can go and do weapon testing and weapon completions in there and just kill Thrall to your heart's content, but you won't get like XP, Glimmer, etc., etc. And they've updated the Wish Ender quest to not require the Tangled Shore, which I found out when I logged in this week with my hunter, and I was like, why have I got these things in my Postmaster that I can only pull to my quest tab, and when they're in my quest tab, they won't disappear? It's the 3, them blue tokens that you got from doing the Tangled Shore, and I'm like, I don't want this. Why have you given these to me? Take them away. And I can't get rid of them. I think I'm going to have to complete the quest again, or until Bungie decide they're going to get rid of them. I've already got the bow. I didn't want it.
Right. I've got that on my Warlock now because I went and did that part at some point last season, forgetting that's what it was because I got the bow a million years ago, and now I've got the 3 discs on my Warlock just sitting there forever because you can't delete them.
Nope.
Since you already have the weapon.
Undeletable.
Respawn, they have fixed an invisible geometry that hinders players traversing to the first secret chest in the Vault of Glass. And the pinnacle reward source moved to the Witch Queen raid, so Vault of Glass rewards set to powerful now.
Yep. Well, you can get 8 powerful ones now. 8 tier 1 powerful ones. I saw Cheese told me that.
What, personally?
Yeah, yeah, personally in a video.
Okay. They go over the Gambit changes that we have covered. Crucibles, they've done, and Iron Banner. We went over the trial stuff. Lost sectors. There's a long list of lost sectors that they've kind of changed. So basically, there were a few things that went wrong with the lost sectors, and things that, like on the EDZ, it's like the boss of the excavation site 7 and the quarry lost sectors are now set to properly boss types on Legend and Master, so they can no longer be killed with finishers as a result. So basically the bosses are a lot tougher, and there was a lot of these ones where it says basically the boss were easily meltable. So that's what makes me think that the EDZ lost sectors are coming back this season with this change. But if you want to have a look at that, the full list is in our show notes. What else was there that I noted? There was text chat. They have now added additional platform support for text chat input. No, not just console. Stadia's in there.
Stadia's a console.
Stadia. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S.
Not a good one.
But what I still can't work out is that when somebody, Andy, sends me a message on chat, that it stays on my screen the entire time. Oh my God, Andy, do it again. And I can turn off the Xbox, I can come back, I play the game again, and the message is still there 16 hours later of, hi. I'm like, yeah, I can't do anything about it. I don't, it's not as simple to find.
That's maybe because Bungie is encouraging you to play with your friends.
Yeah,
I did play with him when he said the word hi. I went and played with him, but then 16 hours later, when it's still on my screen and I don't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah,
I can't find it.
It's a reminder of the good times you had. What's the problem?
Yeah, I'm not excited to have text chat on my console. I'm sorry, I'm not at all.
Well, it's more for keyboard users because keyboard support for that is coming.
Right, which is why I'm not excited to have it on a console at all. I don't have a keyboard on my Xbox in my living room
yet.
No.
Yet. What else was there? They've given you a full suite of glaive mods that can now be equipable on your armor for free. Yeah, they gave you the mods for free, but equipping them on your armor isn't for free. That's what I meant.
That's what we understood. Not really.
Good. And I think that was it. I mean, we've gone over all the changes to the weapons that they said that, some were getting adjusted to be better, some were getting adjusted to be toned down, like Chaperone, like Dead Man's Tale. Terror now works properly, apparently. Although I did notice when I got my Ghost out to check something, or I went to my quest tab to have a look at my bounties that I was doing in Gambit, and I had a full charge on the Terror. I came back and it was like half, and I'm like, I haven't swapped the weapon. I've just looked at what's on my quest tab. what's going on. So obviously they didn't fix that thing where if you get your ghost out or you have a look at your quest tab, it takes away half of your charge instead.
You should
So
be killing.
just
That's
be
your
aware of that.
problem. You should be killing.
I wanted to see what I had left to kill.
Well, I mean, Bungie doesn't want you to do that. You should be mindlessly killing everything with a submachine gun.
Whatever,
Preferably on a
tried.
Titan with Dune Marcher.
whatever is in front of you.
Mhm.
Isn't that the one? Dune Marchers? That's the submachine pants, right?
See, either those or peacekeepers.
Peacekeepers. Yeah. That's what I meant.
Peacekeepers.
That's what I meant.
Grenades.
Our thing.
This is something that I figured out on my own. But we can now get all the grenades. Everyone can have all the lovely
Yo,
void
when
grenades.
I went to talk to her last night, she didn't have nades for me to buy. Everyone's like, "Oh, as soon as you get to it, God damn it! As soon as you get to her, buy the nades." She had no nades.
I don't understand.
Am I not far enough in the progress?
I turned the game on day one and went to her. Did you were they not there to buy, or did you not meditate to actually receive them once you had bought them?
Okay, both of those things are true. I didn't know you had to meditate for anything.
Yeah, because that was my problem.
Well, you go and speak to Ikora down in the tower courtyard.
Oh, in the
and
tower!
She has lots of different.
Oh, I spoke to her on Mars.
Lots-
Okay.
Yeah, no, that won't help you.
Lots of different boxes that you can then select. And she says, "Here's the void grenades that you've been missing all this time.
Okay.
You can now click on them to update your void subclass." She then tells you to meditate, and Peroty missed where the meditation was, which was right next
Well,
to her.
he did because there was no indication on his screen the first time around of where the meditation thing was.
Peroty, You
Sir,
you are a veteran
sir, no
guardian.
one-
You must have remembered meditations.
Sir, no one has talked to Ikora since approximately the Dark Ages. She built a Stargate, and that's all she's done in the last 6 years.
But before she built the Stargate, you had to go and do meditation missions
Right.
with her, and it was the little spinny thing next to her that you had to go and.
I
click
remember
on.
the meditation missions. I didn't remember which thing that sits down here next to her she was supposed to click on. But because the first time I went down there was no indication. The second time I walked down there was a gigantic indicator going, "Hey, here's where you meditate, dummy. Walk over here. This is the meditation thing." So I meditated, and then it was happy. Because I figured, like in the olden days, I would have to go do a mission to do the meditation. No, just go click on the little circular disc next to her, and then you meditate. That's it.
Something interesting that they did put in the patch notes was there are 4 redacted fragments, and I'm guessing that some of those will be coming from the raid and other things. And just to make sure that everyone's aware that the floor is 1350 up from 1100. This soft cap is 1500 up from 1270. The powerful cap is 1550 up from 1320. And the hard cap, which is your pinnacles, up from 1330. And the purchasable character boost has been updated accordingly and will increase your character's power to the new soft cap of 1500. Okay. Are they still doing that? I didn't realize that you could still do that. You could purchase character boosts.
I don't know if it's available day one, but they do it at some point. I can't remember what it was. And they did 3/4 of the way through the season. They go, "Hey, if you're just coming back, you can buy this boost," because it offers it to me for my hunter every season. Because he's always way behind the power cap. It's like, "Hey, you could purchase a boost." I go, or I could just throw 3 weapons on him and be there. But either way.
And they've updated the HDR settings in Windows
Speaking
10.
of hunters,
Some people are reporting there are issues with that.
For my hunters out there, if you didn't know, there is an ornament right now for the Star Eater scales that actually takes colors really well. Finally. So go grab it for you Star Eaters. It's important.
And which one is it?
It is called, but I will tell you in exactly 2 seconds when I get my control back.
Because you can't tell people to go get a thing until you tell them what they're
It
going
is
to
called, well, yeah, because you can go directly to the Star. So you can go directly to exotics that have ornaments and buy the ornament from the exotics. So yes, you can tell them it's on the Star Eater scales because you can go right to it and buy it. But
So there's
it's
only
called
one?
it's called the Tekeli Lee. Yeah, there's only one so far. It's called the Tekeli Lee. And as you can see right here as an example, it took my white and black shader really, really well. There's no sparkly bits. There's no shininess.
I can't see that because it's a podcast, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, fair enough. Damn it. But yeah. So it's important.
So along with the Witch Queen, we've got a new season of the Risen. And I just want to briefly touch upon that because we were right. You can indeed wield your artifact in the PsyOps battlegrounds. So you get your synaptic spear to appear at I think it's the tail end of the missions, the battlegrounds, and you can actually use your synaptic spear on the boss, which is quite interesting. It's again, it's like what we said. It's like the javelins that you used to get on Mars, the war mine things. I can't remember what they were called. Do you remember this, guys? You do the protocol missions, and you could click on the little squares, the little grates on the ground, and you could summon the spears. Yeah,
I know what you mean. I don't remember what they were called.
Well, they were spears. They were war mine spears, javelins, and I can't remember the official term.
Javelin.
Yes, those javelins. Yeah. So basically, the synaptic spear works like that. So you can indeed wield your artifact, not in not in story missions or anything like that, but in the PsyOps battlegrounds, which I suppose because it's part of the season, that's where you should be using it. So next season, when we don't have the PsyOps battlegrounds, you won't be using the synaptic spear.
Assuming they take it away.
They will. So you could become Risen. That is the triumph or the seal for the season. And they go over. There's a page I will link in our show notes. Just quickly, briefly going over what's happening this season, because don't forget, along with the Witch Queen, which is a very big expansion, we do have a season. So I think we said this when we had Shadowkeep and we had the season with that. There seemed like an awful lot of stuff to do at the beginning of the season. So the Witch Queen stuff, you don't necessarily have to rush through. It's the stuff that's going to be going away. I think it was May 24th. So we've got from February 22nd to May 24th for this season to get the gear and get all your triumphs done. And I will link the page in our show notes. It goes over the season track, so what's available. And for the season pass owners, so if you have bought it, you get an exotic weapon quest.
Valkyrie. Thank you.
The Valkyrie, that's it.
Valkyrie.
You instantly unlock the exotic machine gun. Seasonal reward track, all rewards. Seasonal gear.
Wait, I got the. Hold on. Wait, what? How do
machine gun you get day one?
Oh, I thought you said submachine gun because I'm like, no, I got the heavy, dude. What are you talking about?
I might have said submachine gun.
Okay, my bad.
Exotic machine gun. You get seasonal challenges, the PsyOps battlegrounds, seasonal artifact and mods, Void 3.0 subclass update, and event The Guardian Games is returning. So we've got that to look forward to this season. But if you did not purchase free for everyone, you do not get access to the exotic weapon quest, and you don't instantly unlock the exotic machine gun. You have to wait till, I think it's rank 35, I believe. Let me just have a quick check. Yep, rank 35 on the free to everyone list. You do get the seasonal track free rewards, which there are quite a lot of free rewards on there. You get selected gear and armor and selected challenges. You get a trial run of the PsyOps battlegrounds, but then you get access to the seasonal artifact and mods, Voids 3.0 subclass updates, and you get access to the Guardian Games. So,
wait, the Guardian Games is you have to pay for? Is that what I heard?
No, it's free. Free.
Sorry, I thought you said with this whatever pack you get it. My bad.
No. As with every season, there is a silver bundle if you want to go to the store. I believe it's like on the Microsoft Store or the PlayStation Store, Stadia Store, or the Steam Store. You can get a silver bundle for each season.
You keep saying that word.
So
I don't think you know what it means. You keep saying that word, Stadia. I don't think you know what it means.
Okay. You can purchase the Season of the Risen Silver Bundle and receive the Mental Manifestation emote along with 1,700 silver. So it's 1,000 silver plus 700 bonus silver. And then you go and speak to Master Rahul in the tower to get that. So that's cool. I think in previous ones they've done like the Atheon's Throne. They've done a couple of other like seasonal ones that you can get. Like I think there was one when we had Beyond Light that you could kind of there was a green glow and you got taken up into a UFO kind of stance.
Mm-hmm.
There was that silver bundle. So each season they do a specific silver bundle that you can only get that emote and some silver. So it's basically like getting a free emote. If you're going to purchase silver, you might as well do that each season and get free emote that comes with it. So yeah, and some lovely screenshots, trailers, and wallpapers at the bottom there, which I will probably be using for our socials at some point. But yeah, there's lots to discuss for this season and this expansion that we could probably get into now with This Week at Bungie for the 24th of February. So 2 days after they released it, they've even given us a TWAB and tell us more stuff, don't they, Peroty?
They do. It was a late TWAB too. I saw a bunch of people going, maybe they're not going to give us one, but no, here it is. Yeah. So obviously, Witch Queen is out. It's here. It happened.
What?
And I have to give Bungie credit. Like, I actually was watching, basically watching Twitter, watching Discord on the Tuesday, and everything seemed smooth. Everything, people had some, small issues here and there. Obviously, you had to wait to get on because everyone was queuing to get into the game. PlayStation 4 people should have bought a PS5 by now, apparently, because they just Bungie couldn't quite figure out how to get them data fast enough. But beyond that,
at all.
it seemed like it was a pretty smooth launch. So I actually logged on that Tuesday evening and played a little bit, and was sort of surprised that things were there. They were smooth. Yeah, there were a couple of bugs, couple of bumps, but the servers came up. The million people hit the things. As DMG has said a couple of times, hey, this is going to be the first weekend too. There's a million of you, so the servers may become overwhelmed.
No, there's just a million.
Queue.
There was a million pre-orders.
Right.
There's way more than a million people.
Right, yeah. But just saying, there's a million of you that pre-ordered. There may be some small queue times to get into the game this weekend. Basically the team is watching the infrastructure and, increasing it and managing it as they need to. Because just like everything else, it's a huge crush of people coming. But the game has been, other than my buddy Panoramix 18 missing texture packs, so the very dark parts of the game becoming very light, and in some cases the entire room going white. So he couldn't figure out where he had to go or what he had to do because everything was just white. It's been pretty smooth so far.
Has he turned off Mr. Negative mode though?
Mr. Negative mode?
Where it's all white.
No. He's actually deleted Destiny and is re-downloading the game today because he's like, I've done everything that people have told me to do. None of it works. So he's like, I'm gonna reinstall it and hope for the best and see if that fixes it. So yeah, and he's on a 1X, not even an OG Xbox. Like I thought maybe that was the case, but no, just a 1X. So he didn't get the textures, not all of them anyway.
Freaking fortunate.
And there's a launch trailer that I'm sure we've all watched by now and been very excited about because Witch Queen forever.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm upset about is, the weekly quests we were given? At some point in time, I kept doing them, but she didn't have anything new for me. So I'm like, all right, I guess that's it for the season. And then when they said, all right, we got one more mission to go do, right? I went in there to do the mission that they said we got one more to do. And it wasn't the Savathun thing. It was Mara Sov saying, hey, you should probably go somewhere else and hide and chill or whatever until we can figure this out. And that was it. I'm like, what the hell? Where's the Witch Queen? Where's this whole interaction people have been talking about? So I didn't even get to see the interaction. I guess I was like 1 week behind or something like that. But yeah, no, I didn't get to see what you guys saw, man. I'm a little upset about that.
It's not like you're on a podcast and know when the end of the season is.
No, I knew that. And I thought I only had that one mission left, right? Because every time I went to go talk to her, she didn't have anything for me. So whenever we were on we got one mission left.
Play the game to progress it.
But you're not listening to me.
I am listening to you.
I don't think you are.
Many weeks before they said that they were speeding up. Whether if you were behind, you could just keep playing the game activity and it would progress the story.
But
must play game, not just talk to box. Must play activity to progress activity.
Oh.
Go play activity, come back, talk to box. Go play activity, come back and talk to box all the time. And towards the end of the season, you can play the game over and over and keep talking to the box, and it'll give you a new story beat until you get to the point where you've caught up with everyone else.
Demon?
While the box appreciates your love, you need to love more than just the box.
Okay. No, I'm loving the box parody.
I'm not sure you are. Not in the right ways.
But Demon.
Yes.
Okay, so riddle me this. What the hell's going on here? I have a Cinco Patient 53 pulse rifle.
Right.
Just like a normal gun.
Yep.
And then I just got another one with a red outline, and it says attunement progress. Why does one of them have this and the other one doesn't?
Because one of them's special and the other one isn't.
Like, legitimately. Don't mess with me. Like, legit.
Because RNG.
Yes.
Because some of them you can attune and some of them you can't. And then once you've attuned it, you pull the things out to go weapon craft with.
So the ones with the red bars, I can change. Even though they're legendaries, I can take them to the thing and change my perk.
No. You shoot the one with the red outlines, you use in the game, you kill the things, you fill the bar. Once the bar is full, you can pull things out of the bar for materials. You can then take those to the weapon crafting thing to craft a new thing using the materials you got by shooting that red outline gun.
What?
Or, if you don't want to shoot them, because I think it roughly takes like 100 enemies to complete it, you could just equip each one and go and play the story missions. And when you complete each story mission, it basically completes the weapon because it says you've done a thing. So you don't necessarily even have to shoot it. You
just have it equipped?
Yeah, if you have it equipped whilst doing strikes, gambit, crucible, it completes because it says you've done an activity with it. So it's not necessarily shooting. If you want to go and play the shooting range game, then you can do that. But I recommend either completing those and dismantling them to get the stuff out of it, or completing them and sticking them in your vault for later on, because there's an issue with some of the currencies and how much they're actually stacking up to. So that you may be one of these people that have done quite a few of them and you're over your limit. And if you dismantle the weapons, you get nothing in return, or it says you get stuff, but you don't actually get stuff. And the only way to tell is to actually go to the Enclave to see how much materials you've got saved up to do crafting. But we can talk about that later if you like.
I think we might have to, because this wicked shit, dude.
This is where I'm also going to point you and everyone else who's confused. The help.bungie.net under featured articles, they have a weapon crafting guide that walks through all of this. That basically it's the deep site that you're unlocking by doing all this. And then it walks through how to craft things, and most importantly, a list of all of the materials you're going to need and what they look like and what they're called and where they come from, which I'm happy they've done, because this is my problem at the beginning of every season. I always end up skipping some step or missing some piece of the materials, going, well, I've got a bunch of these, but none of those because I'm not playing the right activity, or I'm not turning in the things I should be turning in. So the weapon crafting guide does go over all of this, the deep site, all the materials, what the weapon patterns, all of that. Okay. So help.bungie.net, there's a weapon crafting guide there that we'll link in the show notes, or just, you know, once you sort of review that, it gives you a much better understanding of what are all these pieces and parts and why should I care.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I thought it was just kind of the little red balls and the Dorito chips once I kind of dismantle something. But there's more than that. There's like
what?
There's golf balls that are gold. There are golf balls that have got hexagons inside them. There are sun kind of
there are 8 different elements. 8 different elements and alloys that you need to craft things with that do different
mementos
things
as well. I got a memento to drop from Gambit. I was like, well, hey, I've got a memento. What do I do with this?
Okay, what's a memento?
Those are optional crafting consumables that grant vanity options to crafted weapons, such as special shaders and trackers.
You were prepared for that. Are you reading that off of something?
He is, yeah.
On the weapon crafting guide at help.bungie.net. That's why I can tell you there's 8 different elements. Because they're right here on the page. That's why I was going to look up the link, because that's what I was referring to earlier today, going, there's a lot of things dropping, because it's Bungie again. It's the beginning of a new season and a new expansion. Bungie has thrown approximately 70,000 new things at you and basically been like, go do them without much guidance. So
I'm going
That's
to
what I've been
trump
trying to figure
you
out.
with your page. So
Oh.
I do
Mhm.
hope that people go and have a look at the page, because you can actually see and read about these things and kind of get a bit of the knowledge. But I do have in our show notes a guide from Datto that goes step by step about what you actually need to look for, what you actually need to kind of farm, and what we're saying to Respawn about going and like putting stuff in your vault if you're going to be storing up some of these weapons. He goes into an in-depth 8-minute breakdown, very simple. So it's under 10 minutes, Deacon. It's a good guide on this new weapon crafting system that we've got and what you can do and what you can't do. So I recommend that. It's in our show notes. So read and watch.
Yeah, no,
Or just watch
that's
and listen, just if you haven't got the time to read.
yeah, no, that's nice, because that is always like I always find myself like week 4 in the season going, why have I not progressed? Like the seasonal thing, because I've been doing all of the other stuff. Like I'll do all the Witch Queen stuff and ignore the Season of the Risen stuff and go, yeah, you're 4 weeks behind. You should have been doing this thing and taking these materials to this new person over here. So that's, despite the game giving me every like welcome to Destiny intro, I feel like they gave everybody sort of what the new light experience should be. Hey, you've got a gun. You can use this gun. Hey, these are things you can put into here. Like I've gotten a whole lot of the intro to Destiny tooltips and pop-ups. I'm going, guys,
Yeah.
been here a while. I'm good. I appreciate you doing this for the new light players. I feel like this is what you should have done all along. I guess you just said, let's give it to everybody and they can all figure it out. The pattern thing would not go away earlier. It's like, here's a pattern. Here's what you can do with the pattern. Go click on the triumph, for your patterns. I go, I did. And the tooltip would not leave. I'm like, no, I appreciate you taking over the bottom of the screen. I'm good now. I've read it. I understand. Go away and let me shoot the Cabal now.
The one thing that
Well,
I did find
Mhm.
as a veteran player is that if I was coming into the game now as a new light player, I think I would be overwhelmed with the amount of information that is thrown at
Always.
me. And I think only because I'm a veteran player that I understood that from my own point of view what I wanted to go and do and what I needed to go and do. But that again, I feel overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that there is to do. And some of it, I know I shouldn't be panicked about actually playing the game, but I'm kind of panicked of what do I need to do, because if I don't do it now, will I miss out next week? Like there are quests and like different missions and different secret things that are on a weekly rotation, and if I miss out this week, am I going to be a week behind everybody else? And I'm like, whew, just calm it down, Bungie. There's just so much to do.
Question.
Go question.
I thought this season our weapons would have intrinsic full auto for hand cannons, scout rifles, pulse rifles, things like that.
Was it in the patch notes?
I mean, they've been saying that it was going to be released with the Witch Queen.
Right. Did they say day? I mean, in the Witch Queen expansion, yes. Was it day 1 for Witch Queen?
Is it in your settings? Have a look at your control.
I actually just did look at my settings, actually. That's why I'm asking you guys, because maybe when you guys know if it's a button I got to hit or something. But if I go into settings,
just hit the buttons. We hit the buttons and the gun goes brr. That's
Is
okay.
Is the full auto retrofit still a mod in the game? Because that was their
Yeah, I still have the mod.
Well, then if the mod's still in the game, the setting is probably not there, because that's the accessibility option they put in until they could build in the full setting.
So if I get a really good gun, a really good God War right now, it's not going to have the full auto bullshit.
Full auto retrofit mod.
Ah! That was one of the big things I was looking for.
Oh.
It's almost like if you listen to the show you're on while you're on it, you would know some of this.
I did. Neither one of you knew that either. Don't holler at me.
Didn't know what, sir? I raved about the full auto retrofit mods a couple of weeks ago, and for a couple of weeks. That's what I've been putting into everything.
Yeah, but you didn't know it wasn't going to be released day 1.
A setting, didn't he? That's what he's hung on to, is the fact that there was a setting.
you hold the reload button to swap fire mode, or
no, it's going to be a setting in your controls. That I didn't see it in the patch notes, so I figured it's not out yet. They said we'll tell you when we release it, and since they didn't say, hey, we released it, I assumed they had not yet released it.
Stay
That's what I was saying.
tuned for more
I
information.
mean, Bungie's pretty good about putting those things in patch notes. If it wasn't in the big, hey, here's a new patch note, it's not there yet.
Oh, his name is Finch. You weren't just messing.
But I can tell you what is in the TWAB, Peroty. There's some more stuff about
he's
Season
a
of the Risen.
vendor.
So that you get some pictures of the weapons and the armor, which is quite
Mhm.
nice.
And
Very
New Venus.
Keitel looking. Yeah. So there's a bow. Respawn, there's a bow, pulse rifle, machine gun, sniper, grenade launcher.
I'm looking at a
auto
scout rifle right now at Finch, and it's got one perk.
No. You're looking at the wrong person. Wrong person. These are the season weapons.
Have little blue and red accents on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Respawn here, this is a prime example of getting confused. Respawn, you are looking at the
you're talking about seasonal weapons.
expansion
I gotcha.
weapons.
Okay.
We are talking about the season stuff. So the season stuff is the stuff that will be going away in May 24th. So if you want this sweet armor and loot from that, then you need to go and do the seasonal stuff.
Do you want to look like a Cabal? You too can look like a Cabal, but really just in the face.
Just the Scion.
I really kind of feel like they have given the armor designers the direction of like, make the helmet look like the thing we're going for, and everything else can just sort of be whatever. Slap some logos on it and work
like the Scions. I think it's because you guys are the wrong class.
I'm going to need you to scroll down below the weapons and look at the big tusked helmets that I am looking at from the TWAB.
Okay.
The Titan with the two giant tusks coming out of his face,
right.
The Warlock with the two horns, the Hunter with the two, basically like I have a tusk boomerang hanging back around my neck as a neck warmer and a tiny mohawk.
Yep.
Like it's like we gave you tusky faces and then just armor.
Yeah, but see,
like,
there's another Cabal armor.
I understand, but we're not talking about that.
Okay.
I just wonder, Punchy, why?
The Titan shoulders are freaking huge. Like they're bigger than normal, man. That's like exotic armor huge. What the hell?
I'm getting real Sydney Opera House vibes out of those shoulders. Right? My Australian friends, please confirm Sydney Opera House Titan shoulders. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Right, times 2.
Any more to say about our terrible armor and weapons? Well, Bungie's Game for Good charity thing is going, or I'm sorry, Game to Give charity is going on, which they put a bunch of things in here about, these are going to Direct Relief, Voices for Children, International Rescue Committee. They followed this up earlier this week to say, hey, I think it was the first 24 hours of all the charity money is going to charities for Ukraine because Ukraine. Yeah, but the Game to Give is running from February 24th to March 2nd. They have a whole list of people. You've missed the first 2 days of it. So if you were excited to see those people, you either follow them and you saw them, or you didn't and you don't. Apparently Big Daddy Tej is live now, not Deej with a D, Tej with a T. But our buddy Mac Tix is coming up later on today. Pause, reset, play. I guess I should know. That was 2 days ago. It's the 26th. Wow. Look at where time goes. Time is beautiful. So by the time this show comes out, are we going to say Monday, Night Demon? The 28th of February? We should tell the good people.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Travel Danielle is going to be on the 28th. She's got the 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. slot. So if you want to stay up late with her, you can do that. March 1st, though, we've got Snooty Wizard, CCQ 91, and then Bungie themselves have the slot on March 2nd from 1 to 3. And there's a whole bunch of giveaways Bungie is doing in that 2-hour time slot. So there's a link. There's a link in the TWAP to where all the feature streams are, what people are streaming. Every streamer usually does some sort of, hey, give me money for this charity, and we'll do silly things like deleting characters or shaving my head or whatever's.
Dye your hair.
Go do that. Yeah. Bungie's going to give you, as they always do, some in-game rewards if you give them, or if you donate 50. Now let's see, is this during their block or is this just overall?
No, just overall.
Okay, yeah. So if you donate $50 overall to someone's stream at some point, you get the Altrix Pura MK1 exotic ship, which has the Bungie Foundation branding on it. Looks lovely. Looks like, a lovely ship.
So if you missed out on that last year, and the same with all the other stuff, it's basically the same stuff that they gave away last year. Don't think there's anything new, maybe a new emblem, but yeah, sorry, Peroty.
Yeah, no, that's right. For $35, you can get the High Five Heart exotic multiplayer emote, where you and your new best friend can do heart shapes and the giant heart emerges behind you, because why would you not want to? If you have $20, you can get the Arc Propellant emblem, which is the lovely blue one in the background with the red heart. Or $10, you get the Lightkeeper emblem, which is red with circles on it. That I could explain better, but that's just what it is. So yeah, I mean, as always, it's a charity thing. You're giving money to charity. If you get anything out of it, great. If not, that's up to you. There are a whole bunch of
charity.
incentives.
You don't need to get anything out of it.
Exactly.
Getting something is just a bonus. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, there is now. If you do have some serious money you want to throw around for some reason, during Bungie's 2-hour stream on March 2nd, this is, if you want to throw some money around, this is where you save your money to throw around if you have those higher amounts. Because for $5,000, you can get the release of the 4K TWAB header early. For $10,000, your voice actor lore reading from Brandon, who plays Crow. $20,000, you get a voice actor lore reading from Morla, who plays Eris Morn. $30,000 is 30 players in chat get a 30th anniversary pack. So that's good times. $40,000, 40 players in chat get the Witch Queen Digital Deluxe Edition. Nice. And for $50,000, reveal the Wear TWAB shirt. So apparently there's a Wear TWAB shirt coming that really everyone should just buy, because that's what everybody asks starting Monday of every week. Follow Bungie at all on their socials. I won't tell you where they are. You know where they are by now. They're Bungie. It's a charity event. Give some money to charity. People could definitely use it. It's been a decade so far. It's been a rough couple of years.
Yeah, but the thing that I don't understand is, even if you never mind. I'm going apples to oranges right now, because I was like, they can't receive any of this money because their banks are on lockdown right now. But it's not for them; it's for the relief for them, I suspect. Perhaps.
Maybe. The world is international. There are ways. We have a player support report where things are broken, things are fixed.
No way.
They're seeing some PC performance optimization apps causing issues. So if you're having problems with your PC, apparently things that could adjust your fan speed or do things with the optimizations on graphic cards are causing the game to crash. They have a whole help article about it. PlayStation 4, in addition to the rest of your other issues, you're also seeing BOAR error codes. You should assure that you have all of the required content packages installed prior to accessing the game. For steps to download these files, again, they have a whole article just for you. Now, once you've done that, on PS4, you may also be experiencing crashes while playing your PS4 version of Destiny 2. You are recommended to disable the HDR in-game settings and relaunch the game. If you're still seeing crashes, again, report to the help forum. There's PS4. There's a whole slew of issues for you guys. Sorry, this is your lot in life at the moment.
You got the wrong console. Sony bought Bungie too late.
Your Osteo Striga and your pre-order items. If you purchase the Witch Queen Digital Deluxe Edition, you can acquire the Osteo Striga Exotic SMG after the completion of the Witch Queen campaign. Your specific rewards can be acquired from Rahul in the tower upon login. There's a whole thing about photosensitivity warning. So they said, back in September, Bungie had a whole thing about trying to make the game less, harmful to people and more accessible. Photosensitivity being one of those things. In Mission 3, the Ghosts of the Witch Queen campaign, there is an instance leading up to the boss where players have a bunch of dark enclosed spaces, or if you're panoramics, very light enclosed spaces, with swarms of enemies, quick flashes of combat. So if you or someone in your home has photosensitivity issues, Bungie has a number of steps to, try to make those, try to lessen those, or just say, hey, maybe leave the room for this particular mission because there's a photosensitivity issue there. And there's just no issue with the game, because how could there not be? So the class of its own ornament for the Vex Mythic class has a placeholder icon when viewed in collections. The color appears duller or inverted when HDR is enabled. Basically, guys, don't use HDR. That's what I've got out of the patch notes for the last couple weeks. Just turn off HDR, turn it back on later. It'll be fine. The Knight's Chill shader is displaying incorrect textures when applied to gear. The Overload auto rifle and SMG mods do not disrupt the health regeneration of Overload champions after a stun. So still the case. They did announce that day one in their little tweet thread of, hey, here are the day one issues we want you to be aware of. So overload with autos and SMGs not working right now. It's not stopping the health regen. Hunters, you cannot cancel out of the glaive melee combo using your class ability.
Notice.
Your glaive melee kills do not count toward kill tracker progress and certain melee triggered perks.
Did not notice. Damn it.
And that's just glaive overall. Certain ghost tracking mods do not display the destination material or chest location when in the throne world. The Constellation Tracer Ship, Winning Streak Sparrow, and the Bright Cycle Shell do not properly display lights when certain shaders are applied. So you're stuck in the darkness. Some players are unable to equip their, what is MMXXI?
2021
title? Yeah. Some players can't equip that title. Not because, presumably because you didn't earn it. I assume you've earned it and you can't equip it, so choose a different title. We are investigating poor performance in certain UI screens. Players are unable to dismantle the meditation quests when all available void aspects have been obtained.
It's one of those useless skills. Hey, I can read Roman numerals up to like 8,000. Yay.
So someone have that skill, I presume.
That's me. That's what I'm saying. Because as soon as you said that, I knew what those were. And I was like, it's one of those useless skills you pick up and you're never going to use in life.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're on a podcast needing to read them. And then you're good.
Yes.
Your campaign mission progress may not properly increase for all fire team members. We ran into this day one when I was running the campaign with Pan and Andy. And Pan and I could unlock our glaives and our artifacts. And Andy was like, well, I can't. So he had to load back into the mission we had just finished. Then he got progress. Then it brought us back to the enclave where Ikora was. So if you're not getting your progress for things and you're at the part of the quest, maybe load back to the mission you just finished, it could just be you have to load back in and let it do its thing. The Abyss Walker Eververse Hunter Bundle preview image displays the incorrect cape. The correct cape can be viewed by inspecting the bundle in the Eververse store. So hunters are being lied to about your cape. The new item sheen on some pieces of gear persists.
Wait, you mean I don't get the void bow on the back all the time? I need the void bow?
This has nothing to do with the void bow. You're not listening. Season 15 Pathfinder armor set are not available to equip as ornaments if previously unlocked via armor synthesis. So those are the known issues they tell us about in the TWAB. There's a couple other known issues that Bungie Help has been talking about over the week that they didn't put in the TWAB for some reason. So there was an issue earlier in the week about newly created Titans and Hunters not being able to get the quest to unlock their Arc and Solar subclasses at all. So they fixed that. However, in fixing that, there's a new issue where some veteran players are getting the Riding the Storm and Stoking the Flame quest, which cannot be discarded, so they're taking up room in your inventory. So please complete those quests to remove it from your inventory. So those are the quests that the new players should have gotten to unlock their subclasses. Basically, it's go use your Solar and Arc subclasses to finish these. I am one of those people that got the quest when I logged in this morning. So at some point, I will be shooting things with flames and riding out storms. There was an issue earlier in the week where the purchase of repeatable war table bounties was adding extra invisible bounties that could not be removed, permanently taking up space in your quest inventory. So they do say as of today, or at least as of this morning when I looked, they have resolved this issue. Players should no longer have invisible bounties in their inventory, and the war table's repeatable bounties can now be safely purchased. If you're still seeing this issue, reach out to them in the help forum. But they do say they have fixed it. One of the things Nitedemon was mentioning earlier, players who have a max capacity of the 2000 psychogenic intel in their inventory will not be able to advance certain steps of the Operation Elber's seasonal quest. The intel must be used to progress the quest steps. So if you're sitting at 2000 psychogenic energy or psychogenic intel, you got to use some of it to push your quest along. You can't just hoard it all. You have to use it. The exotic ornament availability message for the Dead Messenger has appeared earlier in the game than intended. You can't actually acquire the ornament until Tuesday, March 1st. So if you've been told the Dead Messenger ornament is out there, no, it's not. Wait until March. They've lowered the recommended light level for Season 16 PsyOp Battleground playlist from 1500 to 1400 power. And due to an issue with players being able to complete a different activity, They have disabled the lightning rounds and dares of eternity. So if you are still trying to get lightning rounds and dares of eternity, you can't. They've turned it off. Additional activity rewards are still available upon completion, even if the scoreboard is not displayed. 2 more. Due to an issue where the players are receiving more weapon crafting materials than intended from Throne World engrams, the materials will no longer drop from those engrams after reaching rank 30. And players missing their 1520 armor for my core upon completion of the Legendary campaign should ensure that their character has completed all the missions on Legendary. And how do you tell this? A red skull will appear next to each replayable mission on the Throne World map that needs to be completed. So if you're seeing red skulls on your map for the missions, and you don't have your 1520 armor set, replay the missions with the red skull on them. And those are all the things that Bungie Help has talked about. Those are all the things our player support team has talked about. If you're seeing more bugs, like you're missing textures, go to help.bungie.net. You can read all about weapon crafting. You can report other issues and see what other people are talking about, because there's always more things that people are encountering. And if you're on PlayStation 4, I'm sorry.
Or 5? Or is it just 4?
Just 4.
Oh.
I assume the 5s are fine, if you can find one.
Accurate statement.
And like always, we have some art and movies. So if you want to go and check those out, there's a Lance Reddick actually playing some Destiny this week. So yeah, I think that's a bit unfair that he gets movie of the week. How is that fair?
Well, that should just be an honorary.
Who should have it?
That's favoritism, that is.
That should just be an honorary movie of the week. I mean, somebody else did a good movie, I'm sure. Someone out there.
Somebody. Yeah, there's some cool Witch Queen art there. Looks pretty cool. So go and check that out in the TWAB. I was going to say it's now over to Respawn's Report Roundup, but I think you've pretty much cleared out his Respawn's Report Roundup. He's now going to have to sift through and go, did he say this? Was I paying attention?
If it's
now going to have to tell the people the same things?
Yes, all those things are.
If it has Bungie, if it has at Bungie Help on it, you can skip it. Because I
shouldn't have helped him with that.
Well, that was more helping me, because I've been trying to keep track of, as I've played very little this week, which things are actively broken. So when I encounter them, I should be aware of it.
So Respawn, it's over to you, sir.
Well, Dim says this: a great quality of life feature that has been appreciated as a parent trying to squeeze in some campaign progress into the day. Plant those flags. They do not come out of your inventory. Dun, 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 dun. As he's replying to a PSA from Gary Clay saying, for anyone playing a legendary campaign, you can drop out after you hit a rally banner and start again from that point later on.
So rally banners are checkpoints. That is excellent.
Yes, they are. Yes. Destiny Bulletin, if you go past the weapon crafting relic, there is an area that has several floating targets which you can shoot. You also get infinite ammo. So weapon testing grounds. Ta-ta. DMG, as we enter our first full weekend of the Witch Queen, we want to give you a quick warning. There is a small chance that we may have a short queue during peak hour. Team will be keeping a close eye on services. Stay tuned at Bungie Help for status updates through the weekend.
Haven't noticed anything yet, but yeah.
Yeah, so far so good. So yeah, so these are all the Bungie Helps that I didn't realize you would all put in here, so let's skip all those.
This is from Kimber Prime. The Bungie team is aware that we can't really see our weapon crafting mats easily, but we'll have to stop there because that's all it says, so we're going to have to read the tweet itself. DMG says, feedback has been seen by the team, no news to share, just want to acknowledge it. And then she says, thanks with a heart. I would like to suggest one quality of life update for the system through, though, which is a... Through?
Though. I don't know where you're getting the R from.
It is though. Well, because though doesn't make any sense.
No, but you didn't write it, so it doesn't matter. You just have to read what the people wrote.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so it says quality of life update for the system, though, which is a way to view your mats more easily for crafting. Whatever that means. Bungie Help skip that. Bungie. Raid date, March 5th. That's a Saturday at 10 p.m. PST, which is 1 o'clock EST and some other times for you other guys.
6 p.m. 6 p.m. UK and 1 in the
I think
morning
it's
for
2 o'clock in the
Australia.
morning.
2 a.m. for Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least for Andy and EST
What
time
power
zone.
level do we have to be respawn?
You have to be 1530, and you're locked at 1530 for contest mode.
See, that's
More
good.
details will happen slightly before that weekend. So next swap's going to have some more details for you about that.
Yep.
And that does include if you've got your artifact up, like say 10 levels. If you've hit if you finished your legendary campaign at 1520 and you've got 10 levels on your artifact, you're already there. There's no more grinding needed, unless you want to.
But you should be grinding out to have additional options because you don't know what you're going to need going in there. So it's fine to have one set of armor to go in with. You're going to need a variety of weapons to know what you're going to come up against.
No, it's all void all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then our hearts go out to our friends and families affected by the events in Ukraine. We'll be donating 100% of the proceeds of the first 48 hours of our Guardian game to give drive to humanitarian aid efforts in response to ongoing conflict. Guardians of the world, much love all. What happens after the 48? Do you not give them any? Do you give them 1%?
Then it goes to the 3 charities they had listed above in the 12, where the money was going originally before the events in Ukraine happened.
Oh, so it's first 48 hours is Ukraine, then the rest is the other charities. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could give some people some videos to watch, couldn't I? Some tips.
You
tricks,
could, and you probably should.
You really should.
Because
So
people like me that are playing really, really late are now having to play catch up.
It's not catch up. It's just playing the game. The game just came out. It's fine. So you already told me to go watch Dado. I'm going to tell the two of you that Fallout told me to go see Zer because he's selling a Vorpal weapon roll on the DMT this weekend. So
he absolutely
go do that so you can make fun of everybody else who missed it.
You need a golf ball. I don't have a golf ball.
You, sir, are going to be like 600 days waiting.
I have like 90 shards or something. I can buy a golf ball.
Did you not go and actually do some farming beforehand? Because if you did farming beforehand, you'd have golf balls, you'd have shards.
I had 5 golf balls at one point in time. I don't know where they went, but I have none now.
You don't know where they went. You're a hunter. Balls. They went into the hunter, obviously.
Mm-hmm. They went into a cloak or something. They went into somewhere where they shouldn't have been. You need to look when you upgrade things what it actually costs.
And now you feel
changes, and now you have nothing. And now Nitedemon will tell you where you can go farm different things because you're going to need all sorts of different alloys and resonant things and all sorts of materials. So you don't have any of either.
I will tell you lots of different things. Yes, I tried to kind of condense it down because I didn't want anybody to get too overwhelmed with what. That's like I said. There's so much stuff to do this week and over the coming weeks. I have tried to condense this down. I swear I have. I promise. Gaming Animal
is doing that and trying to justify it more than once is concerning.
No, just follow me here, right? Gaming Animal has 2 videos this week. He has Season of the Risen emblems. So if you're interested in some of the emblems that are coming up for this season, have a look at that. And then he also has Season 16 Eververse calendar. So if you actually want to see the stuff that we're talking about each week, he has pictures in a video for you to have a look at and see what's coming up. And then we will tell you each week to remind you when it comes up. So, it goes hand in hand. Fallout Plays has the Witch Queen power leveling guide and goes through kind of the basics to start off with in the video and then hard talk about, going from 1350 all the way up to 1500 and what you can and can't do. And then going from 1500 up to 1550 and 1560. So that was really helpful. He also has how to easily get the Parasite exotic grenade launcher. So there's a quest to do after you finish the campaign, and he does preference that you do have to finish the campaign to actually get the quest. So there are several steps after that. Again, I think he did it with Cool Guy and somebody else, so it was a lot quicker to kind of do it as a group because they were all doing the same thing. Kimber Prime has the Resonance Cypher Public Event Heroic Guide. So if you are wondering what this Dorito spaceship is that travels through the throne world and what you need to do to make it go heroic, Kimber's got you covered if you want to know, because there are a lot of blueberries out there that don't know how to do it, and you look like an idiot if you're trying to do it and they're not copying. So hopefully we can get everybody. It'd be another song from Respawn. Throw the damn balls at the Dorito ship.
That was me this morning.
I guess I guess I will.
I was just riding a Dorito before I ran upstairs to record the show this morning. I was on a Dorito. There was a counter going. It was heroic. I was at 90. I was like, well, I gotta finish my Dorito and make the Doritos happy. So
There you go.
now I'll know what I was actually doing as opposed to just throwing suppressor grenades at everything.
And apparently there is an issue with the Wellspring rally flag, but Kimber Prime also has a video on how to fix that. So if you're struggling or if there are issues with your rally flags, Kimber's got a video just quickly going over that. 30 seconds. So definitely Deacon approved for that one. More Console has how to get an exotic glaive. And this is to do with, I think it was a question in our chat last night with regards of weapon crafting, because apparently you have to do 2 lots of weapon crafting, which involves you getting the red weapons or the red outlined weapons to drop. And you can only get them from the Wellspring activity, and they're on a daily rotation. So you need to pay attention to what's actually in the Wellspring activity. But again, More Console kind of goes over it in his video just to show you what you kind of need to look out for. Dato's video on weapon crafting, really good. As to Cross has the Throne World XP guide. So I saw this at the beginning of the week. Jarv put out a video, and I've also got Jar's video in here as well. A Throne World XP boost to get to 2,500 XP per hour in the Throne World. And this is leveling up your little ghost friend, whatever his name is, Respawn.
Finch,
okay. That's the one. Leveling up Finch. You want to get him to level 13 so that you can unlock the Deep Sight Resonance 3, and then you can do these XP boosts for the Throne World. But Astrocross in his video has kind of live gameplay of him showing you 3 other different methods to get an XP boost that he's found from other YouTubers that put out their videos. He does link theirs in his description and goes through what they've shown. So he's got a guide, Jarv's got a guide, if you're kind of trying to boost your Throne World XP, because as I think Peroty mentioned at some point, one of Finch's nodes that you can unlock is a master level for the campaign. So once you've completed it on Legend and you've kind of gone through that, you can then unlock the master version with Finch, which is quite interesting. And he's got a couple of other things that you can unlock throughout in his reward track, so that there's a reason to kind of do that. Abbey Hour has a Throne World region chest location. So if you're looking for the chest locations and struggling where to find them, Abbey Hour's got you covered for that. She also has a guide on the refined Qualicar, I think it's Qualicar farm, and goes over where these enemies are spawning and why you might need to kind of farm this new element. I haven't come across it yet, so I've thrown it in there for anybody that's actually trying to do these things that is a bit confused. Abbey Hour's got a video for you for that. Error has got the Parasite Grenade Launcher DPS test. So if you're interested to see how much this grenade launcher is putting out in damage compared to like the Galahorn and other weapons, Error has got his test video out there. Esoteric has all 10 Dark Rift locations guide. So if you're searching for the Dark Rifts, he's got a guide for you for that. Cheese has a couple of videos this week. I mean, Cheese is always on top of these things, but a couple that I've picked out this week are the Hidden Powerful Rewards, which I think Respawn mentioned with regards the old raid still giving you out powerful rewards. Mm-hmm. He also has a guide on free enhanced trait glitch. So this is for your glaives. There is a way of kind of...
Basically, without going into details, because you need to look at the details, you have a second character, get your second character up to a certain point, and then you get free mats until your second character progresses past that point. But yeah, there is a certain point. I don't remember what it is, so the video will tell you.
And a really interesting one this week, if you are, like me, doing solo Legend story missions. He has a final Legend... Sorry?
Nothing.
He has a final boss legendary cheese, which is really helpful. It looks like it's going to be really helpful when I actually get there. I think I'm on the final mission. I hope I am. But yeah.
Hopefully. I think is Golden God in your chat respawn, because I think he has finished.
He didn't show up.
I think he has finished his solo legendary campaign. So
I'm on the ghost mission right now.
If you need some tips, like David, you can go talk to Golden God. He's living up to his name and laying waste to the content.
No, the cheese for the boss isn't galley. I did watch that. It's not galley. It's
galley.
Instead of getting all 3 stacks of the damaging whatever, you stick in 2 stacks, and therefore no more ads will spawn. It takes you a little longer to kill the boss, but at least it's just you versus the boss.
Which is what you want, really.
Yeah.
You can have one v
That's
one
the
him, bro.
cheese. The
Yeah.
cheese is not galley, bro. T-Rex King, get educated, my dude.
Spear Gaming has a returning exotic catalyst guide. So if you are looking to get some of these exotic catalysts that have now been put back in the game, Spear's got a guide on those returning. 360 Gaming TV has the Ruin Puzzle Pattern Guide. So if you're struggling, like I did at one point, of trying to figure out these patterns, even though it does give you an on-screen tip, and I was like, that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm just shooting all these runes and just trying to figure it out, because it worked the first time, didn't work the second time. So if you want to have a look at that, that gives you a quick guide on that.
Yep.
That was only a couple of minutes.
Is that part of the storyline?
Yes.
Okay.
360 Game TV, that's probably just like the greatest YouTube channel of cheese. Like, hey, this will give you the thing you need. No content, no, hey guys, what's up? Just here's the thing you're trying to do succinctly, perfectly. I have used that, referenced that so many times over the course of my Destiny life. It's 360 Game TV.
Yeah,
they
do many games, but a lot of Destiny ones.
Yeah, but it's very much like if you just need the 2 minutes of how do I go find thing, they're there for you. It's phenomenal.
And speaking of that, they have the Lucent Moths locations for week 1 and where they are.
Mm-hmm. I stumbled across them all earlier going, why am I moth hunting?
I haven't even got that far yet. Cool Guy has the Ugama PR6 God Roll Guide. And now this is one apparently he was gushing about on Twitter. Even DMG responded to him like, ooh, really? So go check that out, because it may be one that you're interested in looking at, because it has specific perks that have only dropped with this weapon that Cool Guy, again, is gushing over.
That?
Yeah, I think it's a pulse rifle.
Oh.
Cool Guy also goes over the Laurely Splendor Titan Exotic Helmet review. So this is the one, like I said, you can get from, I think it's either finishing the campaign, you get a choice of whichever the exotics are. So obviously when I finish the campaign, I'm going to choose the other exotic because I've already got the helmet that you can get from the legendary Lost Sectors. A really good reason why you want this helmet, because when you get damaged on, I think it's Bottom Tree Solar, it drops, if you get into red health, it drops a sunspot, which heals you. So you can stand in your sunspot, do extra damage, and it heals you. Really good help in doing the legendary campaign. I swapped off of using my Path of the Burning Steps just to see what it was like, and used it for the rest of the mission, and it was going really well. It's worth trying to get, because it keeps you alive, does extra damage, but Cool Guy goes over that in his video.
So you're not running Void 3.0? That seems illegal. You should be running Void.
No, I've been running all the subclasses. I started off with Void 3.0 for the first couple of missions, and then I switched it up. I used the Titan Slam, which was quite interesting. Again, I still use the Path of the Burning Steps throughout the whole, I think for the most of the missions actually. Path of the Burning Steps with my Tiku's Divination, because I can stand at the back of the map. It does auto tracking. I target one of them, I then do a headshot to one of them, and there's explosions all over the place. The bosses don't like it. I can use it in close quarters as well. I had no issues with it. I only used my heavy, which was the threaded needle with Vorpal on it, for like boss DPS or taking out some ads with void shields. But yeah, I've pretty much kind of, I'd like to say I'd breathe through it, and I've been taking it slow and steady and enjoying it as I've been going along.
Did you win the race?
And if you need some guides to help you go through the legendary mission solo, if you're doing it solo, or you could be like Peroty and grab a team, Ibontis has missions 1 to 7 guides for you, which I'll link in the show notes. Brave X Hero goes over the Le Monarch catalyst has now arrived in the game. Hooray! We love a Le Monarch, and we love a catalyst, and we love what the catalyst does.
What does it do?
It gives you health on a kill. I can't remember what the name of the perk is now. I'm going to have to look it up for you. It's not a new perk.
Just tell people to go watch the video. It's in the video.
It is, yeah. Actually, yeah, I'll tell them that. Go look at the video.
Yeah, gotta watch the video to find out.
I know what it does, but Respawn doesn't.
If you want to be cool like Nitedemon, go watch the video. Then you too can learn.
Yeah, I heard.
Also, there've been so many videos with like Void 3.0 builds and things, but 2 channels that I will recommend to everybody are Brave X Hero and Plunder the Booty. Those guys put out so many fantastic guides, even before now, on builds that you can do in PvP and PvE. I'll link both their channels in the show notes for anybody to go and look at. So when you get to the point of actually doing these builds, or if you want to look at doing them for your legendary solo missions, go check those guys out, because they put so much effort and so much work, and so much of the numbers that they go into of refining these builds really do help.
That's one video I need to watch. I've been using Plunder the Booty's Titan We Suppress Everything build because Panoramic said, "Hey, I watched this video. You should do this," which just involves here's all the aspects and fragments you already have as a veteran player. So I've been using that and just suppressing everything and popping my overshield. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. And there's some good hunter builds in there and warlock builds. Respawn.
Oh yeah, Plunder the Booty. Yeah, he's got an S tier Void 3.0 build for the hunter that is using the volatile, and just an OP broken warlock build because warlocks.
Yeah.
So have any of you guys been able to find a way to go invis without hunter assistance yet?
You're assuming I've played the game more than like 10 minutes.
Not yet. It's coming.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give it time. Give it time. I mean, not using Rat King, yeah. Or, I mean, not counting Rat King.
Exotic assistance, yeah. No, something from your own abilities, not exotic assistance.
We'll get there in the end.
Not yet, but there's I'm sure things I haven't unlocked yet. There's more stuff coming after the raid, so we'll see.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to check our show notes for any other useful Destiny links, like the D2 Armor Picker. You've got DestinyRecipes.com, D2 Gunsmith, Blueberries.com, Lowly Devs. We've got a whole plethora of links in there for you to kind of sift through and see what actually kind of works with you. You know, like the Destiny recipes that you can kind of link and use with to get your builds right, and then import that into Destiny Item Manager to then see what you can use. There's so many fantastic things that people build out there. I mean, even, our friend Kingsley Mac has done a known issues list. So if you're struggling with some of the known issues, he has a full list that he keeps updated for you. So, have a look at those. So now that we've got all that out of the way, do you guys want to have a quick chat about your feelings on the Witch Queen and this season? And no spoilers, remember. So I mean, I know Respawn's mission 3 at the moment. Are you enjoying it? Are you doing it solo legendary? Or are you just doing it solo normal?
I'm doing it solo legendary because I promised everybody I would, and I'm streaming it again because I promised everybody I would. So far I'm okay with it. There's some pretty cool things. Like I said, you just kind of invis all the time, which is fun for a hunter. But at the same time, I've lost the ability to use a invis smoke bomb, like passively, right?
Yeah.
Now I can do it with like instead of the shatter dive, it's a smoky dive, right? But it's not the same as just being able to throw like the invis at my feet, right? So that being the case, right? What's up with my exotic chest piece that is made very specifically for the smoke bombs? Omnioculus.
You have to take up with Bungie, not us.
Yeah, it says.
So does the Omnioculus just not do anything now, or?
Well, not unless.
Did it have other perks?
It gives you two bombs, doesn't it?
What it does is it gives you 2 bombs, kind of like indefinitely, right? So you gain a second smoke bomb, and you have damage resistance while invis. When you make an ally invis, they gain damage resistance while invis, and you gain melee energy. So the more people I hit with the smoke bomb, the faster I get it back. And sometimes I just get it back instantaneously, right? But it says
I see no issue there.
But it said.
Okay, so you haven't lost the smoke bomb, just the invisibility from the smoke bomb. For some reason, I thought you had lost the smoke bomb entirely.
No.
Well, we lost the invisibility smoke bomb, which is confusing to me because, like, what do you do now? Like
you poison people with the smoke, or
how do you go in this? The Omnioculus is about using the smoke to go in.
I'll tell you what you need to go and do, Respawn. You need to go and look at, I think it's either Brave X Hero or Plunder the Booty's video on using the Omnioculus with the Void Point 3.0.
Oh, they have one. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I did see one of those videos on there.
Oh, yeah.
Peroty, are you enjoying your campaign? You're doing it with a team, aren't you, in Legend?
I am, yeah. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. As someone who played a whole lot of the Halo campaigns, I'm enjoying the fact that it's going to be a repeatable experience. I'm not so much enjoying the dark, twisty corridors and the reveal mechanic, but it's fine. It's one of those, once I play it once or twice, it'll be much better than going to the first time going, there's dark places. I have to find my way through things. It's interesting how again, I'm only on the third or fourth mission. I'm not even sure. It's interesting how the whole you're a detective story thing is playing out, and sort of the way that Destiny does these stories of you're a detective. What does it really mean? You shoot people and now we have an evidence board. So I'm curious sort of to see just how that story, I've been not spoiling the story for myself yet, because I figure at some point I'll sort of like watch the whole thing front to back with all the cutscenes. But I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, it's more Destiny. More Destiny is always good.
It's more new Destiny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think that's one thing a lot of people were worried about, wasn't it? Spoiling the story. There'd be loads of spoilers online. And I think I've managed to avoid everything and still find the good guides to put out there for like our listeners without spoiling anything, unless you're actually up to that point in the story, because there's nothing in these guides that will spoil it unless you watch Ibontis' one to the end. So, I mean, I've, as I said, I think I'm up to the final mission, and I've really enjoyed the legendary campaign. Doing it solo on the legend difficulty, I found really enjoyable, and I think it was Massive Breakdowns. They were talking about it this week, and they likened it. I think Mercury's likened it to the Presage mission, and that was something I really enjoyed doing, like solo flawless, even just not on the hardest difficulty, but just doing it to go through and actually complete that mission was really enjoyable, because again, it was very sneaky. You had to go around, and then there was huge hordes of enemies that you had to deal with, and if you were doing it solo, that was really big challenge. And again, I found that with these enemies as well. Some of them are close quarters. If you think mission 3 is close quarters, then wait till you get to there's a mission with a witch. Oh my god, I panicked. I was in one of the smallest rooms ever. She's got lightning, and there's enemies all over the place, and I was like, oh my god.
Well,
and
I'm on
luckily,
the one called the Ghost. How far am I?
That's mission 3, I think.
Jesus, how many are there?
7. And they're extremely long. They're not like, it's not like a short mission. It's not like these
aren't strike length.
No, these are very long missions with a lot of story in there. You have to listen to it all if you're interested in that. And like I said, I got to this mission with, I think she was the right hand of I want to say Omnigul, but it's not Omnigul. The Witch Queen. She's the right hand of Savathun. And you go in one room, and it's quite long, but it's small with where she's kind of coming up to you, and then you get her down to like a bar of health, take out the enemies. You go to another room, and it's smaller than the last room, and each time I think I was hyperventilating, getting to a smaller and smaller room, and it got to, I think it was the last bit of the damage phase, and I didn't die throughout the whole of this. I was just I kind of popped my super in the second phase of it, and I was on my Solar Titan, thank God, and just all the hammers just rained and fire just rained everywhere. And I got rid of her, and I managed to stand in my own fire pool and heal myself, and took a moment. I kind of stayed in that room for a little bit to kind of get my super back before I went into the next room, because I thought, if this is like it in the third room and it's a smaller room, which I think it was, I was like, oh my God. I stepped out of the door, and one of those Lucian Hive Knights was there, and he popped his super, and I was like, oh my God. And I charged back into the other room so fast. I was
Run
like,
away! Run away!
I ran so fast. He threw out one of his suppression grenades. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. But yeah, he terrified the life out of me. And I took him down slowly with my Tikus, kind of aiming it slightly out the door and catching him, and then doing the second arrow and exploding, and then running away because he kept popping his super. And I kind of did him, and then I thought, oh, that's it, brilliant. I finished the mission, walked in the room, realised that it's a Hive Guardian, and I thought, oh God, I've got to go and push the ghost. Pushed the ghost. As soon as I did that, the witch appeared again. I was like, oh my God, panic! I'm in a smaller room with the witch again. I was like, I did it, but I was like so panicked, and I love that feeling of like, oh my god. And now that I know that there's a master version, I'm like, oh, do I go and do that by myself?
Why not?
You
I'm
know,
doing it.
you know you want
And you
to.
know you want to.
The-
You're not doing it now. You've got to finish the
I'm
legendary.
actually doing it right. Well, I'm
No,
doing
not,
everything.
not, not the
You're
master
doing the
version.
legendary. You're doing the legendary
Oh,
version.
master. Oh,
Yeah, there's a
There's
harder
master
version.
version.
Yeah. So
Question.
how many times have you gone up, killed the Hive Knight, and forgotten to kill the ghost? So he came back, and you're thinking,
done it
"I'm
at least
good,
once.
I'm moving on," and no, or not been
Not-
quite quick enough.
Not in the
Done it at least
campaign.
once, yeah.
Yeah, I've been quite aware of in the campaign of to make sure that I take out all the other enemies, get that enemy down really low before I run in. But it was
guys.
just that last room that I suddenly walked in. I was like, oh, I've defeated this thing. Suddenly realized that I had to crush this ghost and thought, oh, quick, crush the ghost. And as soon as I did that, this witch appeared, and I was like, oh my god, I've got heart palpitations. I think I'm going to die.
All right,
Seriously going to die.
gentlemen,
Mhm.
question for the show. Let's say you had a weapon, and
Yes.
let's say that weapon had a red outline, hypothetically. And let's say that weapon with the red outline says you have to extract stuff, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
How the hell do you do that?
Right. So you go down onto where it says apply, but you can't push the button that says apply. You then go down to the two boxes that are underneath it,
Yeah.
and you select one or the other. Now, one is
Have you
again.
have you used this weapon yet, or is this a brand new weapon you just received?
No, I used it, and I mean,
Used it, it's charged up.
hypothetically, I've
Okay.
charged it.
Okay, so you filled the bar to 100%. So now you're ready to extract the things. Okay.
Okay. So what's it giving you a choice of underneath where it says the apply
ruinous
button?
element and energetic element, hypothetically.
Okay.
Well, then
So it's whichever
hypothetically,
one you
there's a
want.
guide that tells you what
Yes.
these things do for weapon crafting. That'll tell you.
But if you're just
which
starting out, you might as well
elements
just pick one and go with that one, and then the next time you get a weapon,
Which one
pick
is
the opposite
rarer?
one.
there's a guide that will tell you what all of these things do. I think they're all just materials. So I honestly, I got to that point and I just extracted one of the two, figuring it's early in the season, I'll get materials. Let's just start collecting materials. I assume they do different things. Again, the weapon
Yeah,
crafting guide
do
on
different
help.bungie.net will tell you what they do and what they're for. So if you want to, care about what you're crafting from day one, go look at the guide. It'll tell you what each of those materials do and why you want them.
Oh, this led me
So,
to data. Hold on, wait.
Hypothetically, entirely.
Hypothetically. This
So-
led me to data.
What are your guys' impressions of the map that we've got for the Throne Worlds?
You
looks-
mean Venus? It's Venus.
You mean Mars?
Mars.
Which map are we talking about? Are we talking about the Enclave or the lush green Venus-like map?
Yeah, it's all the same.
So yeah,
It's a mashup.
yeah. So yeah, Mars is very Mars. I would like to understand how, and I mean I wouldn't call this a spoiler as it's day one, the moment you turn the game on. How was Eris Morn and Ikora unaware of the Cabal building the gigantic gun
Right?
On
That freaked me
in-
out last night.
in their front porch? So you walk out to your front porch with your morning coffee, you look onto the horizon, and there's a gigantic weapon platform being constructed at your next door neighbor's house. You apparently are unaware of this until they bring the barrel for the cannon in. At that
No,
point,
I
you
think
go,
what we missed.
There's a gun they're constructing here. I listened to the dialogue. I let it play through more than once.
Yeah.
And apparently they were confused about this.
No, because I think what happened was because Mars was already a base for the Cabal, all they needed to do was add the barrel to that gun location. That's all it is. That was already
Mm,
there. All those buildings, all those Cabal buildings in it, and that one that looks very similar to the EDZ kind of drill site that's kind of
Yeah.
it's just
okay.
there.
Okay.
I think it's just they added the barrel to shoot the ship kind of thing.
yeah.
That's all that was going on.
And they were surprised
Those
that
things were already there.
the barrel was facing out versus facing toward the Guardians. Because I was like, were you not aware of this giant structure being here? Because they're very much like, oh, we had no idea. So yeah, that just struck me as very odd that the way that whole thing played out. and then you walk over there and it's like, oh, hello everyone. But yeah, Mars
I
is
was
very
confused
Mars.
by the enclave. Like, how is that suddenly there? Was that there all the time in Destiny 1, Destiny 2, and it's only just been revealed? I don't know. Is it part of a pyramid ship? It's got a door and you go down and there's other things and it's got a swingy thing. And yeah,
Got a swingy thing.
I
Nice.
I cannot tell you how hard I laughed when I loaded into that game and it dropped me into a cornfield.
yes.
What?
And I was when I played it, I was like, do I walk in the cornfield? I'm going to walk in the cornfield because I thought maybe there's a barrier, it won't let me, but it let me walk in the cornfield.
Yeah, no, you can walk through the cornfield. Having played Stardew
Have you
Valley,
never seen Children of the Corn? What's wrong with you?
I'm a guardian. It'll be fine. Having played Stardew Valley the night before and harvesting my corn to launch into Destiny into a cornfield, I laughed so hard. And I said, the mashup has finally come. We're going to be farmers on Mars. We were whalers on the moon. Now we're farmers on Mars. That's what we are now.
So what about the throne world? It's very big. I mean, it looks pretty small on the map that we've got, but there's quite a lot of area, isn't there? There's like you said, there's a lot of Venusy grassy area. We didn't get any new weather effects, unfortunately, because that was one thing that we were talking about last week. But you get that, and then you get this huge throne world that just tails off into the distance, a bit like what we had with Europa. You kind of see on the edge of the map, but then things go down and caves go down, and then there's portals that you can go through that take you somewhere else. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm completely lost. I don't know where I'm going. Hopefully there's something on the HUD that will help me get there. Respawn, what about you?
Well, I will say this because I made the comment about it last night. Is I think their scaling was pretty good, meaning, like, it launches me up to the ship, right? And you see the size of the ship, and then you go into the ship, you fiddle around a bit, you come out on the other end, and then you look back and you realize that I could feasibly think that I crossed about that much distance while inside the ship, you know? So I think whoever came up with the scaling and the gameplay, I think they did a really good job as far as that goes. Like, I really felt like I was moving that far through the ship when I came out the other end. I was like, wow, that's pretty good, you know? So I mean, I do appreciate little things like that when it comes to programming. When you can immerse me like that, like I really felt like I traveled the distance that I traveled. That's pretty good.
I think it's very much like the Taken King with Oryx's ship, isn't it? There was so much space on that ship that we didn't really explore. You know, I think they didn't kind of program it, but they made it out like it was this huge thing. And I think they've done that with Savathun's throne world, and potentially we could open more parts of the ship, because I think that was something we wanted in the Taken King that they really didn't explore too much. There was a few bits that opened up every now and then, but I think with Seasons and this being a persistent place for the next year, I think it could be something that different parts open up, or even different parts, you know, we can kind of use portals to get to that they say that are in this location. Peroty, and any thoughts?
I mean, again, loading in, it felt very lush and green like Venus. That was sort of my initial, my brain goes, this feels lush and green like Venus. The throne world feels a lot like Callus's sort of palace felt, except a little more stark, a little more of that, Hy-Vee Shadowkeep vibe to it. Yeah. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I mean, I really I enjoy the starkness of going from the very like light and dark of the throne world proper to just the lush green Venusy throne world. I just wish there were less Scorn. We don't need the Scorn, and nobody invited them. Nobody.
Yeah, I just found my first group of Scorn, and I'm not happy.
I mean, this may be something that comes later on in the story that I'm not entirely aware of. But I thought that we would be fighting Scorn, we'd be fighting Hive, and we'd be fighting the Taken.
I'm waiting for my Cabal buddy. What the fluff, man?
No, but I think that's in the season stuff. But yeah, I'm confused as to why the Scorn are there. Again, it may be a story beat that comes later on that I haven't got to yet.
Like, why are they in the
They're
throne
not
world?
working together with
Right.
the hive. Because in certain areas I've seen them fight the hive, and I'm like, what's going on? Is there something else at play here? Again, maybe to come in the story, or maybe it is in the story, and I'm just not saying anything.
It's like did she hire out the Scornus or like private security for the throne world, being like, listen, I saw what happened last time we had a nice throne world. These guardians came in and destroyed it and killed everybody. Let's have some private security set up. In addition to the Lucent Brood, I don't know.
And I haven't seen any taken yet. Have you guys seen any taken yet?
No.
No. Are we supposed to have taken? Because if so, I've already been rocking malfeasance for most of this quest.
They've been taken from us.
Yeah, they've been taken.
Mm-hmm.
So weapons, are there any weapons that stand out to you guys? And are you enjoying the changes with like your red weapons?
I'm glad you said that, because I just got a Viced auto rifle, which I thought you might quite enjoy.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. If it's a primary slot one, I know what you're going to say.
It is primary slot.
Oh, yes.
Listen. All right. So it's got Vice Stinger, Headstone, Subsistence, Ricochet rounds, and Stability. This is going to be a self-reloading monster. That's also spawning freaking little ice crystals everywhere, dude. This is going to be so dirty.
I've got 6 of them so far. I've held on to every single one of them because it's in that rapid fire frame that I used to love.
I know.
With
the 720.
Yeah, the 720s, but it's the Vice 720s, the rapid fire ones that are fantastic. I've got one with a really good combination that's got one for all, which is hitting 3 separate targets, increases the damage for a moderate duration, and stats for all, which is hitting 3 separate targets, increases the weapon's handling, stability, reload, and range for a moderate duration. So I'm interested to see where that goes with that perk combination. I've also got one with Headstone. I've got Overflow, Ricochet rounds, and all the stability, all the range. I'm like, those are my 2 ones that I'm kind of looking at now, thinking, what do I kind of need to build into? But yeah, great. I've been on Destiny Item Manager. I've had a look at all the different things that I've got, comparing it to the D2 Gunsmith roles. And I'm thinking I might want one. I've got one with Focused Fury, which is a new trait, which is dealing half of the magazine as precision damage, grants this weapon bonus damage. The shot count is reset when this weapon is reloaded.
I had a question about that. Maybe you know. Now, is it bonus damage for the rest of the magazine, or is it like bonus damage for 10 seconds, or is it bonus damage for 1 round?
There's a timer. There's a timer that comes up on the screen which says Focused Fury. But
so if I emptied half my magazine, then did a hunter dodge to reload my full mag, I can use that full mag with bonus damage? Is that what I'm hearing?
The shot, I don't know. All it says, the shot count is reset when the weapon is reloaded, but you just have to see if that notifier is on your screen still. Because it doesn't say how long the effect lasts for, so you just have to look and see if it's still up.
Well, I was asking him because he sounds like
I can't remember. Yeah, I honestly can't remember. I have used it. Again, I'm looking at one that at the moment you can have with Overflow and Focus Fury with that, and you can have a magazine with backup mag on there with 62. So with Overflow, doesn't that double it? So you could get 120 magazine, and if you've dealt half the shots as precision, the rest of it is going to do
just stupid
amounts. I can't wait to kind of farm for that weapon. That one has been my standout of the pack. I know there's been so many other ones. Have you guys seen any other ones that you kind of looked at and gone, oh, this looks interesting?
The Vice rocket launcher. Not Vice, I'm stupid. The Hake rocket launcher, the one that's got
I've heard people
the missiles.
About this one. Yeah.
I've got one which it's not as powerful as my Code Duello. Code Duello just outmatches it in every stat. But perk wise, it's got lasting impression, ambitious assassin, and it's a tracking rocket launcher. That sounds pretty damn good. You know what I mean? On paper, anyway. In practice, who knows? But I mean, yeah. Tracking rocket launcher. It's got timed payload. Just
I got one of those new, I think it's Typhoon GL5, which is a grenade launcher, which is the Omolon ones, which it's got the Omolon trait on it, which is this weapon has increased reload speed and stability at the top half of the magazine. But it also comes with Adrenaline Junkie and Demolitionist on there with spike grenades. I'm like, that's an interesting one I've kind of held on to. there was a sniper rifle that I thought would be good in kind of raids, which is the Fuji 55, which had firing line, auto loading holster on it, and the Suro Synergy, which is reloading grants this weapon bonus handling and reduces incoming flinch.
See,
so I could see that working quite
perk
well.
that you mentioned, right?
Yeah,
It's really playing a big part on this fusion rifle that I have, because the fusion rifle, both of them actually have reservoir burst, right?
yeah,
And they don't have, at least not that I found, they don't have the whole, like what the other one does, where it reloads on kill, subsistence yet. I don't know, but it's got reservoir burst and then the Amalan fluid dynamics. So top half of the magazine has faster reload. That perk goes really well with reservoir burst, because you're like reload, reload, right? Because you're keeping that reservoir burst active by reloading every time you fire. So that is a very good combination. And then I also have compulsive reloader, which grants increased reload speed when close to a full magazine. So these three perks synergize fantastically well together, you know?
That's definitely one thing I would say to people. If you have got the vault space, because you should have cleared out some of the spaces in your vault last season, or if you've got an entirely new vault, throw all the new weapons you can into your vault, because you never know whether it's just a god roll or not. Unless you need it for infusion, I'd hope
no, my
don't need it for infusion.
I'm not
but I would recommend throwing as many of these new ones that you think are going to be quite good, like Respawn was saying. I mean, I got one of those new hand cannons, the Cantina 57. Again, it's a Suros one. So it's got the Suro Synergy. It's got timed payload, which I really do appreciate on the hand cannons, because it gives you that extra blast after you've done the initial shot. It's got the compulsive reloader. And what I like to do, my Hunter, although it's in the energy slot, so with Le Monarque, I normally use Le Monarque hand cannon, but I could see I could have a like a Last Wish bow with this Cantina and use the time payload to get the extra kill afterwards, reload, so I've got the compulsive reloader on there. So it's all kind of playing into just shooting the one shot, and hopefully that time payload gives that extra bit of damage to kill that person. I reload the weapon, it gives me that extra, stability reload or increase the reload speed when I'm close to that full magazine. And the Suros perk reloading grants bonus handling and reduces flinch. So I can keep swapping between bow and hand cannon with that combination. So I'm holding some of these new weapons. I mean, I did have 70 spaces, which was quite nice in my vault. I did fill them up with ships and sparrows and things that I could use for Glimmer, which I've gone through because I'm on the bounty train. Everything's bounty wise. Everywhere I'm looking on the Destiny app and going, well, I'm going to go and do this. So what bounties can I do as well as doing that? So I'm like, I've gone through so much Glimmer. It's fantastic. So as I'm going through the Glimmer, I'm clearing out the ships and the sparrows and the ghost shells in my vault, and then throwing more stuff into the vault to clear it out. Peroty, is there any weapons that you've had so far that are standing out to you that may be interesting, maybe you want to use later?
It's gnawing hunger.
I mean, the crate. I've got a couple of crates dropped that have been fun. I've got, what is this thing called? A funnel web submachine gun that I've been having fun with.
That's what I'm using too. Yep, that's so good.
I don't know. I don't exactly know what it is. That I feel like it was just, and I think it was something. It must have been something from my Titan Void subclass, because I feel like I was just shooting it forever, and it was just, it does have auto loading holster. That would probably possibly be
that's your Vice perk that comes on it.
Oh, is that the Vice? Is that the Vice Stinger?
That's the inherent.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Vice Stinger having a chance to reload, because I feel like it's got a magazine of 31, and I feel like I was putting like 50 bullets into people at close range, and I was like, this works nicely. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it has a nice sort of stable feel to it. I haven't used it much, but I'm enjoying it so far.
People are saying that one is very much like the Recluse. It's the Recluse 2.0. So have a look at some of the rolls on that.
That's how it
have
feels.
a look up to some videos. Yeah, especially because it's void as well.
Because the one I've got has elemental capacitor and auto loading holster on it. So the elemental capacitor,
you're so lucky.
With the void, gives me the increased stability. So I mean, like it's really stable. It's got nice range. The recoil direction is 96, so it is just like point in direction and send bullets that way.
So mine's got a recoil direction of 100 exactly, and I have elemental capacitor, but I also have pulse monitor, which reloads my magazine.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I really want ricochet rounds and the other one that increases my stability and range, because I'd really love to max those two things out, dude. And I got a range masterwork. But yeah, just your auto loading holster, to me, that sounds so much better. Because I'm swapping back and forth all the time between this gun and another gun. So if I had auto loading holster, it'd be a monster.
Big question, Peroty. Have you visited Saint 14 and have you turned in one of your engrams to get your new summoner? Have you done that yet?
No, not yet. I've got like 7 of them still sitting on the Warlock.
Go and visit Mr. Saint. Go and visit Saint.
5 of them sitting on the Warlock.
He's got the summoner in his loot pool. So if you've already unlocked it like you have, you can go down there and turn in, I think it's 100 shards, I think it's 20,000 glimmer and an engram to get a new role. And I can confirm they do come with the new perks, because I did do that because I thought, somebody's got to do the testing out of the two of us.
Mm-hmm. I fear when I was seeing people day one saying like get the new trials or the new Iron Banner stuff from turning in engrams, I haven't yet because I have barely set foot into the tower. But yeah, but no, there are 5 trials and engrams sitting on my Warlock for this express purpose of I'm bringing you with me. We're gonna be friends.
And I meant to Master Rahul in the town. I said, Master Rahul, he is a trials engram. You give me new pulse rifle.
That accent offends me. What the hell is that?
You give me new sniper. You give me new scout rifle. I want a new scout rifle. This is just
no, you probably don't. I mean, maybe it's amazing, but you probably is the new scout rifle any good? Because he had a scout rifle in trials, and it exists.
It's one of my favorite types. It's a rapid fire frame.
Oh, okay.
So it's 260.
Okay, now we're talking. I'm in.
Now it's like the Scorpion SR4. It's
your contingency plan. Yep.
Yeah, Aisha's Embrace.
Is it anywhere near Randy's throwing knife? Because if it's anywhere in the vague visited throwing knife feel, I'm in.
I think it is, to be honest. I think because I'm sure Randy's was a 260 as well, wasn't it?
It was.
Now you've perked my interest.
It was a 260 full auto. Yep.
So I said, here, Master Rahul, give me no scout rifle.
Please stop that. I'm begging
you. He said,
stop that.
Here you go. Here, new scout rifle. It is.
He's not going to stop.
Not if you tell him to. He doesn't do what you say.
I asked. I didn't tell. I asked.
He gave me one straight away, and he said, "Here you are. Have Eye of the Storm, Perpetual Motion, Armor-piercing rounds, and small bore." I said, "Thank you very much. That will do." He liked me.
He certainly did.
Which, once you've unlocked it, I can then go back to Saint 14 and say, Mr. Saint 14, I have now got this weapon. Give me a new roll. And he'll go, yes, here you go. But I haven't done that yet. So
I'm very excited to continue. Again, trials giving me engrams that I can hang on to makes me very happy. That's I'm excited to go back and play it more again this season to farm more weapons out of it.
And I turned in Iron Banner stuff. And you know what Iron Banner stuff gave me?
More Iron Banner stuff.
The new Iron Banner sword, Razor's Edge, which has the new intrinsic perk, Skulking Wolf. So during the hunt, the final blows with this weapon grant enhanced radar and remove you from the opposing radar. So regardless of whether you're being hunted or hunter, if you get a kill on somebody that's hunting you, you then go invisible from the hunter's radar. And if you are hunting people, you'd go invisible from people that you are hunting down. So it works both ways, I guess.
Interesting.
They gave me one with Frenzy and Relentless Strike on that. And they also gave me a new hand cannon. I was like, yeah, let's go, dudes. So I've got a new Iron Banner hand cannon, and that is called the Frontier's Cry. I got one that has got Eye Grip. So that's massively improves the weapon stability at the cost of reload speed. Steady Hands, which is kills improved handling for all weapons for a short duration. So that was that one. And then I got another one that also had Iron Reach, which was improves the range at plus 18, minus 27 stability, and rapid hit with accurized rounds. So, okay rolls, I guess. I'll try them out. but they come with that new intrinsic perk. But I just wanted to see what they were like. Didn't give me any new armor. It gave me the old armor, but I still have. I think I've still got one or
Hey,
two.
this is using my raid banners. They said it doesn't take it out of your inventory. They lied.
It doesn't take out your. It
Bro, it does.
doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It really does, because I had 13. I now have 12. I haven't been in a raid.
You're doing it all wrong, sir. Where are we? Crafting. So, have we done enough crafting to have any thoughts on this yet?
I've done no craft.
No, I've made a glaive and looked at all the things I could craft, and that's as far as I've gotten. What have you crafted?
I crafted a glaive. That was it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm like vaguely interested to try out, but I'm not super excited about it.
Yeah, I want to make a god roll legendary weapon, dude. Hell yeah!
I want to get there, and every red bannered weapon that I've had, I've made sure that I've completed it, and if I want it, stick it in the vault. If not, I've kind of dismantled it and got more stuff out of it. But yeah, I'm kind of just doing those as they come along, without kind of dismantling them. Just going, but I want to make sure that I've got them done. The one thing I will say about the glaive is that I discovered a glitch on the throne world in the Scorn area. Now, me and this other guy, I think we'd done some kind of public event, and you know where the Scorn suddenly form, they kind of form out of that kind of blue dust and kind of, and they kind of just all jump out of that same area.
Huh?
Me and this other guy kind of found this glitch where they would continuously respawn. About 5 seconds after us killing them, they would respawn. So him and me were just kind of standing there with our glaives, battering the hell out of these poor guys that just kept spawning over and over and over. And in between, we were kind of emoting to each other. And then somebody else came and joined, and we were all kind of just bashing the hell out of these. My count for how many kills that I got up to like rank 6 on my glaive within 2 minutes. It was absolutely ridiculous because the amount of kills that we were going through. I had to leave the area and come back because I thought, yeah, you can level it up to level 30, and it tells you the date that it was crafted on as well, which is quite nice.
Are you talking about like your legendary or your
your legendary one? So it gives you a birthday to your glaive.
What does that do? What does leveling this up do?
That gives you the chance at getting the enhanced perks to make it even more deadly.
Okay.
So once you've leveled it up, I think when I got to level 6, something else popped up on my screen and said, you need to go here and do this because we need to make this glaive even more powerful. I was like, okay, I will do that. I went back to the Scorn area. I can't find where this glitch happened. I don't know if it was a one-off or if this is something that could kind of be repeated, because I thought I could stand here all day and get up to level 30. I don't have to do anything else. I just stand here. But I thought, I really do want to go and play the campaign. I will go and play the campaign. Otherwise, I'll be far behind. But yeah, that was quite interesting. But yeah, I've got no real thoughts on crafting at the moment because I haven't kind of got there. I'm enjoying it as it kind of comes along, like you two. Just I'll get to it. We'll have some thoughts, or maybe there'll be some tips that we can kind of discuss.
I mean, when I have some materials for one, like I crafted the glaive because it was like, here's the things, go make a glaive. Here's 2 choices to make on every slot. Everything else is like, you have nothing to craft with, goodbye. So I figure once I've had some time to play and get the materials, which we'll see how that looks. We'll see what that is like. I'm at the point in the season where there's just so many materials and I'm just going to hoard all of these to try to figure out what I actually need to spend where, and just see if it's worth my time investment to continue to farm for them. We'll see. There's just too many materials to keep track of right now. I'm not getting the spreadsheet out. I refuse.
Gambit was my next topic. Have you guys played any Gambit? I know your chat was saying something.
They were saying they don't like it. Okay, so he said, yes, I know how it works. It just sucks now. Responding to, do they know how it works? Yeah, no, he says, I know how it works. It just sucks. And apparently they were all talking about the shield mechanic, how the shield mechanic works now. And I'm just like, well,
basically it's gone to like where it was with Gambit Prime. So if you weren't around before the changes, we had 2 versions of Gambit and Gambit Prime. Gambit Prime, you had to follow, we had 2 envoys that would guard the primeval at the boss phase.
Yeah, you have to kill the envoy in order to do damage.
Yeah, you'd have to kill the
So they
envoys
brought
to
that
do
mechanic
damage to the
back.
primeval. And they brought that back, yes. So you now have to go around the map, kill the envoys, then you can damage the primeval, which stops primevals just being completely slayed out with
Is
swords
that
and
it?
everything else.
Well,
So it slows down that
there's a number
mechanic.
of other things.
But the problem, I mean, I did play quite a bit of Gambit. I can't remember what rank I'm up to, but I was doing the bounties to kind of get through that, and then I thought, oh, I might as well just stay here and play and just absorb some of these changes. Now, I don't see going around and destroying the envoys as an issue, because again, I think because I came from Gambit Prime, I understand it. I understand where that comes from. The problem is the infinite heavy ammo. Now,
Mhm.
when you clear out an area now, whichever area it is, so say you're on the map on Titan,
Yeah.
on the,
Yeah.
and it'll go, right, clear out that area. You go and clear out that area in that room. It then gives you a heavy ammo box and says, everybody, you can go up to that heavy ammo box and you can all pull heavy ammo out of that box.
What?
So you go do that, right? You can then move
Yeah.
around to the next area,
Yeah.
clear out the baddies there,
Every time you
and it'll
clear a
give you
front,
another heavy ammo box.
yeah, every time you
At
clear a
that
front,
point-
you get an ammo drop.
That is nuts. That's why he's
You-
complaining about all the Gallahorns. I get it now.
You
Yeah.
also get heavy ammo to drop when you defeat a high level enemy as well. You can also have mods on there on your armor that if you do a finisher, you can get heavy ammo to drop for you and your team. So imagine
Yes.
that.
So they've destroyed
And-
the ammo economy, is what they've done. It sounds like.
They've destroyed the ammo economy because you can run around there with a glaive, not
And all
use
you have to
any
do is
ammo,
clear an area. And that's it. Something we all
not
do
use
anyway.
any
Right.
ammo on your glaive, and just batter the hell out of people, because there are
Mhm.
mods that you can now equip that when you damage people, it gives them weakness and suppression, all this wonderful stuff. You don't need to use your primary weapon at all. You can use a glaive. You can equip Gallahorn. So as soon as you go into invade, you fire a Gallahorn. As soon as you get invaded, you fire a Gallahorn. There's just
Mhm.
Gallahorns galore.
Yep.
Not one person did I see with any other heavy weapon on any of the teams. Now, I was trying to do bounties. So I was trying to do like one that said 25 stasis kills. So I equipped the sidearm that gives me stasis kills. I had the
Yeah.
sidearm, I had the subclass. So I didn't have Gallahorn on me. I could have if I was playing that game mode to Gallahorn, but it literally is. It's not Gambit anymore. It's Gallahorn. That's all it is. And I don't think they can do anything about it unless they take away those heavy
Yeah,
ammo.
no, that heavy ammo sounds atrocious, dude.
Yeah, that's. I mean, of course, that's where it was going to go. They gave you the one exotic weapon that was easy to get. They gave you heavy ammo in a horde mode. So of course everyone's going to use the easiest thing to use in the horde mode that gives your teammates perks for using that thing as well.
Yeah. And if you go through an invade and
Correct.
you don't have Gallahorn, you're at a disadvantage, because
Totally.
they don't even need to know where you are. They just fire a Gallahorn in that general direction. I was hiding behind
Mhm.
like rocks and things, behind walls. Those extra bits still find you and just kill you. You don't even need to be tracked.
Really.
It's
Mhm.
unbelievable. So if you don't invade, you're at an advantage, and if you do invade, you're all at a disadvantage. And then I don't mind the new mechanic of you get an invasion portal. I think it was 20 and 40, wasn't it, or something like that. 20.
Yeah,
and,
40 and 80, I want to say, or 20 and 80, whatever.
Yeah.
There's two
Yeah,
of them.
that you only get the two.
Increments.
Problem is, if the boss fight goes on for too long, those portals keep opening up. So you keep getting invaded. They invade you. You invade them. They invade you. It goes backwards and forwards. And
So
sometimes
the
those boss
infinite portal
fights.
mechanic is still up. I thought when they said you get two, that's it.
No,
That's what they meant.
nope. You can still be invaded at boss round, and you can invade them at boss round. It comes up in increments. I don't know what time frame, but at one point I think one of the games went on just on the primeval phase for a very long time. It felt like about an extra 10 minutes than what it needed to be.
10
Because
minutes?
They would come in, they would destroy the whole team with Gallahorns.
Right.
So the primevals thing went right up. We would then go and do that to them. I think both teams got to like primeval damage times 10 before one of us could actually use. I think we went through at least charging up at least 2 supers in that whole round. It was, I know this is a one-off, but it was just
Yeah,
if that's a one-off, that's going to happen more often as more people play the mode and get used to this kind of way.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've kept the overall timer on Gambit, right? Like you do have the overall timer still, because I've had some matches basically go to that timer where you get into those scenarios of you just go in and wipe each other out, and nobody can do enough damage and not get murdered by the other team to actually beat the primeval.
Damn.
Yeah, again, it's not everyone, but that's what I'm sort of curious about is like, on average, are the games lasting longer, shorter? Is it all about the same? I mean, obviously you'll have those outliers where it goes on for 10 or 15 minutes of you're just going back and you have two evenly matched teams, or you're just wiping each other out over and over again, or you're just stuck. But I'm curious to see once I get into play a little bit more, just see how things are feeling. Are they feeling quicker? Are they feeling slower? Or is it just all Gallahorn all the time, so it doesn't really matter? It's not really a game type anymore. It's just a Gallahorn fest. Which again, Bungie, did we not see this coming? Of course we saw this coming. The moment you brought Gallahorn back into the game and gave people heavy ammo in a horde mode, that's what people are going to...
You keep bringing up Gallahorn, but I mean, you could have been the same thing with the Void one.
Well, right, yeah. Right, yeah.
It could be with anyone, but I think it's the infinite heavy ammo.
Right,
exactly.
Heavy in game has always been the problem. Yeah, what the weapon is. It's people find whatever the weapon is and do the work for the least amount of investment and going to use that to death. It's heavy ammo in Gambit, just like PvP. You've got to keep a lid on that. You got to do the same thing in Gambit, or it just becomes that and nothing but that.
I vaguely remember them scaling back heavy, didn't they? At one point, going right, you could only get a little bit of heavy, and now we've just gone free fall. We've gone here's heavy all the time. Clear out an area, have heavy. Everyone can have heavy. It's like so. Even if you aren't invading,
that's got infinite the weapon mode. What's the weapon mode in Crucible?
Mayhem.
Everybody goes to mayhem. It's mayhem for Gambit. Is what it is.
That's what it feels like. And the areas of like enemies go so quickly. You go over there, you kill everything, and it moves a lot faster. But then you're getting heavy a lot faster. It's just
And then you get invaded a lot faster.
I'm interested to see how, if you guys actually do play it in the next couple of weeks. I know Peroty will, to see, or any other kind of feedback from the community of how everybody else is feeling. Is it just me that it is just Gallahorn? Or is it just that is what it is? So yeah,
we'll see how it settles.
Have we got any thoughts on glaives as a weapon type? Are we enjoying it? Do we like it or not?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a little bit. Obviously where I'm at in Legendary is I'm very underleveled, so going to CQC is a flip of the coin. And most of the time I'm landing tails. You know what I mean? You get one shot too easy with the glaive, but I also keep forgetting that you can shoot it and there's a shield. But the shield lasts all of like a second for me. Is it like that for y'all?
It depends on how you build it.
Haven't used it enough to know.
Yeah, I don't shield.
And then the shield doesn't look like it recharges on its own, because I've had this little
not with the glaive.
sliver of purple.
My entire build out's built around shielding, but yeah, the glaive I'm not sure I've actually hit anything with it. I think I used it for 30 seconds and said, I'll play with you later. You're not what I need right now.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I like the versatility of it. It can do a lot of things, but it doesn't seem to do any of them particularly well.
I'm a fan of the infinite melee ability on it, that I don't use ammo, and I can walk around in patrol and just melee everything.
Same.
Yeah, I think that's I've really only done the legit like throne world, open world, and my focus has mostly been the campaign, which the glaive is not going to excel at when I'm getting murdered every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play with it, but yeah, I think it's going to have its use. In what I'm doing right now is not that thing.
So, Void 3.0, are we fans? Is it a yay or is it a nay?
It's a yay. I like it. I like
Smoke
the
bomb,
changes.
which was a nay.
Yeah, that's one of many things. Yeah, but no, I mean, they did a fairly well job of it. Sorry.
What I found interesting was when I jumped on to like my different characters and I just equipped the subclass without even going to the aspects and fragments, it still gave me access to the minimum of void. So I didn't even think about it. I was kind of playing Crucible, Gambit, Strikes, and it was only kind of when I got halfway through, I was like, oh, I've got new aspects and fragments I can now attach. So it kind of gave me a base thing of what a Nova Bomb could do, what a grenade could do, and the same with like tethers for the Hunter before I actually went in and gone, oh yeah, I can actually tune this to what I was doing. So even if you forget, there is something there. And then I didn't realize until I was watching like somebody else's videos say like the two different tethers are now selectable squares underneath the main pit, so you can do
I missed that entirely. Yeah.
And the same with the banner shield for the Titans. It wasn't until I was like, oh, okay, I can either go shield or I can go Ward of Dawn now. So yeah.
What I am curious about is now, because the bottom tree tether did a ton of both overall damage and burst damage, right? But now that you can shoot 9 at a time, just plop, 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 done, right? It like I am deleting bosses, and I'm just like, is this the new DPS king?
We did say that last week.
Yeah.
There was a tweet, wasn't there, or somebody, one of the feedbacks from one of the devs when they were on one of the shows that said that is going to be quite a good DPS.
Dude, it is too. Shooting three arrows at once is going to be so nice. Now the arrows don't necessarily hit, but the debuff that comes with it feels like the old school debuff, and it hangs out for a while. Like, have you noticed on your Hunter, like bottom tree tether before, whenever you would shoot it, you shoot it, and then it kind of disappears after a couple of seconds. That lingers now. It hangs out. You got to bring it tea and crumpets. It stays the night.
I honestly haven't used the Void 3.0 as much as I probably should have to kind of review it. So I've used it a bit, but like I said, doing the legendary campaign, I've been using the other subclasses, and I think that's blasphemy. Listening to some of the other podcasts this week, they're going, "Oh, everybody's using Void. I don't see anybody else using anything else." I'm like, there's me in a corner, slowly raising my hand, going, "I've been using the old stuff," but that's just me. I like a variety.
You're weird.
Peroty, what about you? Are you in the Void?
I mean, I never really left the Void, but yeah, the Void's been wonderful. I like you guys totally missed the whole giant indicator to go, hey, here's where your bubble is. And I was running around with the banner shield, which was fine. The bubble changes have been really nice too. There's a boss that, uses a particular super on you, and you can absolutely panic pop that bubble and it keeps you and your fire team safe. Also, if you're getting thrown around maps, you can throw a bubble up, pass through the bubble, get your overshield back, and not die when you hit the wall because you've passed through the bubble in the process. So I've been really enjoying just like that instant bubble pop and hopping in and out of that. And yeah, the changes have been nice to be able to say, here's what I want. Like throwing that Bastion perk on to get an overshield down where I can either use the small wall or the tall wall, and I can get the overshield either way has been really nice. So again, I basically have been using Plunder the Booties build to do the legendary campaign, but I'm really enjoying the extra grenades I have access to, and that I can sort of spec into the parts of the Void I really enjoy versus going, here's one of your 3 options. I hope one of those are good for you. But yeah, I haven't taken the Void off in forever anyway, but I've been really enjoying the new Void changes. And I'm excited to go play with the different combinations I have available, especially once I get through the campaign where it's like, I want to overshield myself and friends, and I want to suppress everything. Because that's just been stupid amounts of fun.
Said in the chat earlier, your exotic, Doomfang Pauldrons, I think it is, has been changed. Like they changed the exotic. Have you checked that out yet?
No. But what have they changed it to?
They didn't tell me. They just said it changed.
Who's told you this stuff?
Haven't touched it.
The T-Rex game.
I can tell you the Doomfang Pauldrons.
No, hold on. He's yelling at me. Hold on.
Void melee
the
cube
Ursa,
gives super
sorry,
energy.
the Ursa.
No,
it's the Ursa.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, do I somehow not? Moving faster while guarding when Sentinel Shield is active. Guarded damage converts into super energy when the super ends. What was Ursa before? I don't even remember. So you move fast.
Did it give you 2 shields? No, Ursa. Did Ursa's give you 2 shield throws?
No, Ursa was the one where it would drop when you had the banner shield up. It would drop orbs when you took damage.
Oh, didn't they change that when they changed the? I think it was the Blade Barrage with the Shards of Galanor on, and the Warlock chest piece that when you stood in your well and you got kills, they would only give you half back of your super, but that was all it would give you, because sometimes it was a random amount depending on what class you were on, running what exotic. So I think they changed those a long time ago. So guarding with your super will give you literally back half your super when that ends now. It didn't drop the orbs for quite some time. So I think that was changed a while back.
So they did modify it. Yeah, well, it looks like it was modified again before this drop. I'm looking at light.gg for it, and it does say it was last modified on the 18th of February, and then it was modified earlier on the 11th of October in 2021. But I'm trying to see. So yeah, so it's got the history on, but I don't know what exactly, because it's go look at this API and read the JSON to figure out what they changed, and I don't know what the reusable plug set hash from.
Oh, he said it was a barrier shield buff. You had a barrier shield buff, is what he's saying. I think.
Yeah. So. Yeah, yeah. No, I've basically been running around with dual suppressor grenades the entire time, so that's what I've been running with.
Nice.
Because the dual suppressors, and just having the grenades be up and then specking into sort of that suppression build has been what I'm running around with. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'm excited to play with the stasis. I never did enjoy, because just the movement on the Titan and the super, I never have gotten the hang of, and I just don't really care for. Whereas the Void, I deeply, deeply enjoy, and they didn't ruin that in the rebuild. It's still a beautiful thing. It's not a drunken toddler running around with ice crystals. It's being a powerful Titan and being able to sort of spec into that. I can throw that small banner shield down. I can have the Bastion perk on to give my teammates overshields. I can spec into that, like, I will, I am here to help you stay safe while we murder these things, which is sort of like the support class role I want to play. So I like that I can sort of spec into that a little bit more of, here's what I want to do with this Void class, not just you have a bubble or here's a shield that you can put up and run at people with. It's taken a little bit of work getting used to it feels like the amount of damage I can do, and again, this is a legendary campaign, so maybe just that I'm fighting higher powerful things. It feels like the super goes quicker and I'm not doing as much damage to things, but again, I'm also fighting things higher than me. But I'm really enjoying the changes so far. I'm excited to play with all the extra grenades and see what I want to use in different scenarios, because I like switching my grenades around. So having all the extra grenades, I'm a big fan of too.
Good.
I was really looking forward to the new grenades, and then what my grenade does now makes the other grenades kind of pointless, and I'm just like,
and what does your grenade do now?
Wow. My Void grenade, when I throw it, A, it weakens them, right? B, it sucks everybody in the middle to make them easy killing fodder, right? So now that I have access to the magnetic and all these other ones, I'm just like, well, now my Void is really, really good. Damn it. Because they brought back the mechanic that we had back like during the first season where we had the artifact, right? Remember where you throw a Void grenade and you weaken the enemies? What was that called? Well, yeah. I just have that all the time now. And it's just like, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you guys want to discuss before we head out?
I just need time to go play the game. I've had so little time to play it this week.
Yeah, he's chomping at the bit.
Not only finish the campaign, but like get further into the campaign, and then just go enjoy some of these weapon drops. I've had a couple of pulse rifles, a couple of those auto rifles, and like a sidearm drop for me, and that's all I've gotten to drop at all. So I'm excited to see what else is out there. I don't know what the compulsive reloader perk does, but I giggle every time you say it because that's who I am as a person. So I'm glad Bungie has given something just for me.
Compulsive reloader, the higher you are at the beginning of your magazine, the faster you reload.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's why I said it synergizes really well with Reservoir Approach, because you only fire the one shot and you reload. You know?
Sounds like it'll synergize really nice with auto rifles that have lots and lots of bullets.
That too.
Okay, so that's it then. I think we all just want to go and play the game, and people listening want to play the game, and think it's time to go and play the game again.
I think I'm going to play the game as well.
Thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your hunters know and response in real life. We'll have more lore for you one day, but today is not that day. You should email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com and tell us all about the lore you want. You should find the show on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Basically, you know where to find us at this point. 2 Titans and a Hunter. We're there. We're everywhere. We're right behind you. You should find us all online, playing the game, trying to figure out what weapon drops are good, what weapon drops are terrible, and what do you do with all these newfound materials. Watch the show on YouTube, and until next week, say goodbye, Guardians.
Deuces!
Bye.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
The Leiths? Is that Letha? Leith's Mercery? Leith's Mercery?
Talk to Mom.
Leith's. I can't even say Mercy. That's the word.